Buck Rogers. It's got everything in it, every ingredient. Buck Rogers. It's got everything in it, every ingredient.
Luke would never say that. I'm sorry. Well, in this version, see, I'm talking about the George Lucas Star Wars. This is the next generation of Star Wars. So I almost had to think of Luke as another character. Maybe he's... Well, you're assuming that I train Ray.
Exactly. Sneaky.
Do I?
Sneaky.
I know I have to be really careful. People say, was it difficult to pick up and wield a lightsaber again? And I go... Do I pick up?
Is it difficult acting in this movie? Am
Well,
I in this movie?
I can promise you my part is twice as big as it was in Force Awakens.
Are you bummed that Luke didn't get sort of a reunion with Han Solo?
Absolutely. In fact, when I was reading it, I thought, if Leia's trying to mentally contact me and she's not successful, she'll rush to his aid. She'll get close to him.
Jesse,
and then
can you
get
hear
into
me?
some dire situation, and that's when I show up.
Can you hear me at all?
Yes. Save her life. So
Can
we
you
rush
see
to
me?
Han and are in the same position that
I don't know
Rey
what's
and
going on
Finn
with my
and
screen.
Chewie are.
It
She wants
says
to
that
save
it's,
him, but witnesses. And I say, because we carry so much
What's that
emotional
noise?
resonance into the
It's the video is playing on my end.
Okay,
Oh, there we go.
I don't know what's going on,
Oh,
but
there we go.
StreamYard is broken. Hello, everyone. That got fucked up.
Yeah, your intro video was still just playing on my end. So
I don't know what's going on. So on my end, the screen went black and it said video clips aren't working. And then I refreshed it on my main page and it said like, the video has been taken down by YouTube. And I was like, what's going on? So it's broken. I don't know. I don't want to try to play any clips, but hello, everyone. Technical difficulties on my end. My internet's been being weird and I can't see anything because I've been wearing my glasses today. And so when I take them off, everything's blurry. But hello, Jesse.
Howdy how.
You ready?
As it were. I'm not wearing my glasses. If I put them on, I would not be able to see, but I do have them nearby because I did get new ones.
So now my eyes are like all adjusting all weird. But yes, I like your glasses. I should have gotten styles like those, but I got these glasses like 6 years ago. And I got them for driving. So I usually keep them in my car.
Yeah.
But I've been noticing when I paint and I focus on teeny little details, whenever I look up, I'm like, I can't fucking see shit.
Yeah.
So I've been needing them around me recently. But hello, everyone. So we are going to talk about a lot of shit. So we're going to talk about Gina Carano getting fired. We're going to talk about how Kathleen Kennedy came out with a video for the Oscars saying, yay, women are fighting an uphill battle, but here are these women we're going to highlight being a total hypocrite. We're going to talk about how some weirdo who I guess starts fights with the comedian said shit about me and a lot of other people in the fandom menace. But before we get into that, what's new with you, Jesse?
Whew, what is new with me? Saturday afternoon, it was really exciting because I got to sit down with Richard Chu to record our first part of our interview. We got to talk all about his exit from Harvard Law and entrance into the filmmaking world. Really laid the groundwork for his experiences jumping into the 70s, where, of course, he edited The Conversation, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and then our favorite movie, Star Wars.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know, can you let them know who Richard Chu is?
Yeah, he's the guy who edited those movies I just mentioned, as well as Risky Business and a whole slew of others. And yes, he does have an Academy Award for being one of the guys who edited Star Wars, which is fucking awesome. And so we'll be actually, that first part, I'm going to be cutting together tonight and dropping tomorrow. And then I'll be sitting down with him actually tomorrow afternoon to get part 2, which will include all those things.
Exciting.
And then there'll be part 3 and 4 at least. Oh, nice. And the craziest part was, I don't know if you were on Mecca's stream when I mentioned this, but we got to talking about my screenplay after our recording session on Saturday. And he was like, oh, wow, that sounds really good. You should keep me posted on it. And I was like, oh,
nice.
Okay, yeah, I will do that. Holy shit. Amazing.
That's awesome.
Academy Award-winning editor guy who made Star Wars. I will definitely let you know how my screenplay is about and stuff.
Well, that's awesome. Congratulations. So how long is part 2 or part 1 going to be?
We recorded about an hour at least of like the main stuff. So I'm going to cut it down a lot, I'm sure. There will be a lot of extras available only on Patreon, as well as all the, behind the scenes stuff that's worth cutting that'll be available only on Patreon. But yeah, these are long conversations. They're really exciting. Like we're having fun doing this. Like he's really wanting to talk about all the stuff. So it's fucking amazing. But yeah,
that's awesome. Well, that's such an incredible opportunity, and I'm so happy for you. So everyone, the link to Jessi's channel and her Twitter in the description of this video. Please make sure that you go over and subscribe to Jessi's channel. That way you never miss this show, because it rotates between my channel and her channel on Wednesdays around 3 p.m. And that way you don't miss any of her videos, especially when she's got awesome interviews with the fucking editor of fucking Star Wars. And not shitty Star Wars, good Star Wars.
The Star Wars.
Yeah, so I saw that I had somebody screaming at me not to miss a super chat, so I have two, so I'm going to read them. Charlie Spur, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Anna, on a previous stream, you were talking about how the slave Leia outfit makes your boobs look great. I said they always look great. I hope you weren't offended. I had to leave before you answered. Thank you so much for that. I was not offended. I don't remember saying them maybe back like a few years ago when I was like still like physically.
Oh no, this happened like the other week. I remember because it came up somehow. Someone was asking you about it. Like, why are you in the slave outfit, this and that? And you just offhand mentioned, oh, and that makes my boobs look great. I think way at the end we got back to a super chat that just randomly said like, oh, Anna, your boobs always look great or something like that.
Oh, okay, and I didn't get the reference. Okay, I apologize. Well, thank you for that. That's really random. Yeah, it makes my boobs look great, but I wish I just need to start swimming again. It's driving me crazy that, the gyms aren't open, because there's a 24-hour fitness close to me that has an Olympic-sized pool. So I don't like working out, but I like swimming, and swimming works out your entire body. And so, yeah, so if I were able to swim again like I used to, because I used to swim every single day, it would look much better. But alas, wait until the coof is over. But thank you for that. And then Wicked Still, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Anna and Jessi, love your hair today and fun birthday stream for Mecca. Well, thank you. Jessi's hair always looks awesome.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that was about your hair, which looks amazing today. So,
well, yours is like, you haven't really flipped it, but it's like doing the perfect.
It's got like it's super soft, and it's nice and like kind of lying a little flat. So it just wants to do its nice little swoop.
It's doing it great. So we're going to get into the first topic now that I've read the super chats. But so guys, I believe like a few days ago, right? Gina was fired. So me and Jessi and Jeff, who's in the background somewhere, were actually over on Drunk 3PO's channel doing a charity stream to end human trafficking, especially against children. And it's a stream that Gina supports. So Drunk was nice enough to invite us all over to that stream. And in the middle of that stream, Yellow Flash was, doing his research the way he does. And he discovered, he was the first one to announce it on the stream, that Gina was fired from Disney and from Star Wars and The Mandalorian. And so all these articles were circling. At first none of us believed it, because we're like, well, who said it? And it just says a Lucasfilm representative. And then come to find out it was true. And then a few days later, Gina revealed in another interview that she found out that she was fired via social media, just like everyone else, which is super shady. So I was actually on a stream over on Jeremy and the Quarterings channel. And so it was me and a bunch of other people. And some weirdo I've never heard of decided to say a bunch of mean things about us. So Jessi hasn't seen this clip yet, I don't think. Nope. So I'm going to show this to Jessi and everyone here on the panel. So let me get this. Let me turn on the audio. So Sheila Alien, who is a really big Comicsgate fan, and she's a huge supporter of, all the CG channels as well as Fandom Menace channels. And so she clipped this and tagged all of us in it. So this is actually from a stream from this dude. And I guess you have to pay to watch it. So this is just a little clip from it. I'm going to have to mute myself or else you'll hear an echo. But you ready for this, Jessi?
I guess so.
But on a delusional.
I sent you one of those screenshots you were talking about.
Where? This one?
Yeah.
Let's see what this is. Do people know what I'm talking about here? Here, look at this. This is what they're doing. This is what the losers are doing now, because they can't be losers alone. Look at this. The horror. Chrissy Marr. Look at the balds. Look at these fucks. They all collect DVDs and figurines. These are the worst people that we could. Autistic people, Hostbuster. These people. They're on such an off path. They're so far off. And historically, we would have ignored them. They were always silenced and sentenced to a life alone. And now they found this is QAnon. This is the Proud Boys. These are the scum of America's bottom floor, and they found community. It's the most dangerous thing happening today. And they almost know that what they're saying is nonsense, but they get their friends to agree with it. It's really weird. It's like when you see Gino promote the Proud Boys and pretend that they're just a great. They're not great. I don't hate great people. All right? You know, I don't do stuff like that. I know who's shit. I know who's full of crap. And these guys are bad. And they shouldn't have internet access. And today we're going to show you some of the grandest delusions of all. I hope that doesn't impress you. But I don't know what can be done. I don't know how we could fight back without looking like it's political. This is the problem. It's because you try to fight Gino Bisconte, and they go, oh, he must be a liberal because Gino's on. See how they weaponize this whole political thing. It's very frustrating.
So, you're muted. So here's the thing. I didn't know what the Proud Boys was until this. My boyfriend was talking about QAnon the other day, and I asked him what that was, and he's like, "I'm not explaining that to you." He kind of laughed.
Terrifying, messed up shit.
Well, so I still don't know what it is. I still haven't gotten a straight answer on what the Proud Boys.
You want me to explain to you what QAnon is?
Probably not, because it sounds like it's something that is probably political. Just give me a elevator pitch.
I was only going to because that's all I know about it. But basically, my understanding of QAnon is that there's an anonymous unknown entity named Q who is telling the truths about the fact that
from Star Trek. Wait, Q from Star Trek?
It's just Q. It's just Q, the letter Q. So sure. And apparently, all of the Democrats are involved in sex trafficking, pedophilia, and Donald Trump was appointed by God to save us all from the evil Democrats.
What?
Yep. That is QAnon. That is the elevator.
So he just said, so because we were doing a stream, and it literally says in the screenshot, also, by the way, he didn't watch a second of the stream, everyone. Not a single second. This is a screenshot that's up on Facebook that he starts talking shit about all of us. So he, without watching a second of the stream, he accuses us of being the Proud Boys and QAnon, and he calls us autistic fucks that need to get our internet taken away. I don't know. I still don't know who the fuck this dude is.
First of all, what is his name so we can cancel him? Because I have a question, right?
I'm against cancel culture, but
I make a joke. But the reason I'm making a joke on purpose, because here's the thing: Sia right now is in the news. This fucking musician lady. They're trying to cancel her because she tried to make a compassionate movie about.
Oh yeah, you told me about the autistic friend.
So apparently she went back and cut out a whole bunch of shit that people said was offensive, and they're still canceling her and bitching about it because of the girl who played it isn't, actually autistic and this and that. So because she tried to do everything fucking right, he's still getting canceled for offending that community. But this guy's totally fine for this guy to just sit here and casually refer to anyone he doesn't like as autistic. But that's totally cool. I'm sorry, this isn't fucking middle school in the 90s where everyone's like, oh, that's gay. Oh, you're retarded. I thought we eradicated that shit. You don't get to be this super liberal savior guy and throw around the same shit that you're canceling us over.
So this person says that hack you have on screen is similar to Howard Stern, but worse. So from what I gathered, I read some of these comments, and from people that know who he is said that he is just some guy that tries to start drama with comedians. And then the drama ends up being funnier than anything that he tried doing. So I still don't know who the fuck this guy is. But the fact that he said this shit about us without watching a second of the clip and started accusing us of names. I usually don't like to talk about people that are purposely just trying to say shit about other content creators so that way they can get views and stuff. But like all of us, like we're like, who the fuck is, like, none of us, like Nick Ricada, Hill versus Babyface, Nerderotic, like everyone was just like, who is this dude?
It's just, it's it just shows how far off base these people. I see a lot of people in chat. He's making a joke. This is the stuff, though. These are the things we cannot laugh off. These are the things that start as jokes. We should not laugh off the fact that this guy just immediately wanted to lump in some of the smartest, most talented, most interesting creators in our community with a bunch of other groups that have varying reputations. But the fact of the matter is, whether or not you agree with the reputations that those groups have or not, I do not associate at all with the Proud Boys or QAnon. I disavow both of those things 100%, 100,000%.
I didn't even know what either of them were, but the fact that he just says it, it's like, what on earth are you smoking, dumbass? So I just wanted to highlight that and to show it because I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And him giving us shit about like having DVDs and like figurines.
That's the stuff that really fucking bothers me too. It's like, you think you're so clever. You think you're so cool being the guy pointing out, everyone else and how much better you are than them and how shitty. When you don't realize the people you are bullying, you are literally bullying people the same exact way we were bullied growing up. We were bullied for liking these things. We were bullied for wanting to collect stuff. We were bullied for our relationships with these properties. And guess what? The people you're describing, who are not the same people you think you're describing, by the way, but that type of person does exist. And a lot of those types of people come about and become adults with this dysfunctional adults, as you put it, become that way because of assholes like you, who when they were just going through their growing pains or being misunderstood or having interests that were different from you got your rocks off, kicking them down and pushing them into the dirt because guess what? You turned out to be a fucking comedian. That means you hate yourself. That means you have low self-esteem. If you're the type of comedian that goes makes jokes like this, you hate yourself and you have never been able to find any actualization. You have only ever used your comedy to try to feel better about how much you have, about the fact that you at some point bent the knee and conformed to whatever the mainstream said you should do. Maybe it was to get ahead. Maybe it was to get famous. And you will never be able to get over the fact that you bent the fucking knee. And so every time you see people who didn't, it gets under your skin and you got to resort to being a middle school bully because you can't deal with the fact that there are people out there who don't have to walk the walk, who don't have to bow their heads and just do whatever the boss tells them to in order to get ahead. That we speak with integrity and truth, and you are just lapping at the heels of whoever signs your paychecks.
Yep, exactly. So that stuff is bullshit. But so this is actually the next topic I was going to discuss. So I showed this video to Jessi right before we started the stream because Jessi had not seen it yet. So that Star Wars Girl KK video just hit 10K dislikes. They even turned off the comments. Check the video, please. So let me pull this up. I actually have it. So, fuck. What I do? Okay, there we go. So it's actually right here. It has it. Okay, so I haven't refreshed this. I'm not going to refresh this because I still have the comments on. So I can scroll through this and we can read all of them. But I just pulled it up on another thing. You're right. Comments are turned off and the likes to dislike ratio are gone. So it was only a matter of time.
I'm glad we have evidence.
So yeah, and I actually was doing a screen recording. I recorded for like 40 fucking minutes of me just scrolling through these comments because as of right now, there's 5,620.
Bam! Oh my god.
So I was screen recording, which I probably should do again. And just screen record this. I don't want to refresh anything though, because I feel like if I do, I was down at 4 hours.
Leave this like to dislike ratio. Jesus Christ. It's just like, why? The thing is, you pick someone to announce this.
It's not going to refresh. But so I actually got a video of it back 4 hours back of all the comments and everything. So let me just... I'm going to screenshot it right now. I'll post it on Twitter. So there we go. Let me.
Amazing. How beautiful.
Okay, here we go. I'll do it live right now on air. Paste. Let me go bring this one up.
And it's no. It just shows the lack of awareness of like, why pick her? I mean, partially, honestly, it's like there are really very few women at her caliber in the industry, because the industry's never let women rise to those heights. So now they got to go ham with what they have, and what they have is this at best completely milquetoast old lady.
Does Oscars not have a Twitter? Can anyone confirm that for me?
Does who not have a Twitter?
Oscars, like the Oscars.
I would do Academy. It would probably be the Academy of Arts and Sciences. Yeah, the Academy. That'll be the Academy. Yeah. Yar. But I mean, she holds no weight. She's not an inspiration to anybody. This thing is, the only people who know about her are people who care about movies, and so the only people following her are the people who are very impressed with what she's done with Lucasfilm. Nobody, and us who are very unimpressed with what she's done with Lucasfilm. So
isn't that amazing? Like, look, I know mine wasn't updated, but I guess it over 5,620 comments, over 9,000 dislikes, and now it's gone.
It's gone. I mean, that's the stuff. Like, that's the type of censorship that should scare people, right? Because that's people. Everyone acts like, oh, it's innocent, it's innocuous, it's this and that. People want to gloss over these things. What that is very clear, right? The second that something happens that disrupts the narrative, it is erased. Mm-hmm. Anything that disrupts the narrative is erased. Gee, there's a book I read in school that was like really similar to that. It was a number. It was like a year. And it was really similar, where any people who thought the wrong things were removed. Any texts. I hear they're burning Harry Potter books now over something J.K. Rowling said.
What?
Yeah, I haven't. Somebody told me this. I was going to go see if this is true or not. Oh,
shit.
Because that's some Nazi shit.
Well, guys, so here, I was actually doing a screen recording, so I can actually have it playing. Oh, fuck, if I can go back. I can have it playing while we're talking. So I went and I was screen recording because I had a feeling this was going to happen, and then I stopped because it stopped loading. So this is 42 minutes long of me scrolling through the comments. So I guess we can have that up. I'm actually going to upload this over onto my other channel. If I can find my damn... Here we go.
Apparently back in September, during whenever we were last caring about what J.K. Rowling said, videos on TikTok of Harry Potter books burning were spreading like wildfire across TikTok. Yeah. That's totally great. That's what we do. And
why? What did she say?
Some of her purportedly transphobic comments or whatever. Or was that movie she made or something that was apparently transphobic? And yeah, she was getting canceled over it and whatnot. I'm like, it's so culturally backwards. It's so rooted in ignorance to do things like that, to destroy art, to erase things we don't like in order to pretend they don't exist, because apparently we're not strong enough in Constitution to confront those things head on. It doesn't. I don't understand how people are so comfortable turning a blind eye to this. Like, I'm getting increasingly more troubled by people's behaviors out in the world today. I'm getting increasingly more alarmed by these kinds of actions. And it's like, hell, I mean, Gina Carano comes out and makes a statement about the dangers of letting neighbors turn on neighbors and fostering that type of community. And in response to that comment is removed and canceled. It's like, how much more on the nose do you want to get? Like, no, we don't believe, and then, I mean, the tweet, right? Like, you couldn't get more on the nose than that one tweet, that you sent me, Anna, the fucking basically, oh no, oh God, it's terrible to compare conservatives to Jews in the Holocaust. What an awful, insensitive, terrible comparison, but it's totally fine to compare them to Nazis. Like,
yep.
No, it's not. It's not okay. If the thing is both sides love to do this. Both sides love to go, you're all Nazis, you're all Nazis, you're all Nazis. And the second they get accused of being a Nazi, go, oh my God, it's so horrible to accuse anybody of being a Nazi if they're not literal Nazis. Like, Okay.
Yeah, I know. They're allowed to say it about us or people that they don't like, but the second that somebody says it about them, you're like, you don't know how this affects me.
Exactly. So if you want to fucking cry about, and then it's shit like that. It's shit like there's probably a zillion comments on that comedian's video. Owning these conservative assholes, fuck them, thinking they're so great, tooting their own fucking horns. Meanwhile, it's like, really, y'all are going ham on somebody who just used autistic as an insult. But I guess that's fine. I guess that's totally fine because now you're in the autistic community. That's like you will never be able to walk that ideology without rampant hypocrisy. And if that's not enough to let you know that it's not a good ideology, I don't know what the fuck people need, you know?
Well, that's the thing, is that they don't know and they don't care. They're allowed to do it, but the second that we do it, or people that are on the opposite side, or the people that they don't like, then all of a sudden it's the fucking embodiment of all evil. So they're just complete hypocrites, and it blows my mind that they're allowed to get away with that kind of stuff. Because look, I don't like getting political, but as somebody that's completely neutral to both sides of the fence, when I find out that Portland is burning, that Seattle is burning, and then there's one day at the Capitol, and that's the embodiment of evil, but I mean, I couldn't leave my house because of riots going on in the streets. I mean, I think that's pretty hypocritical, you know? I think if you're going to talk about this, it should be full coverage of everything. And even when it comes to, yes, I know, nerdy shit like Star Wars. If Gina is going to get fired over a tweet talking about historic things that happened in our past, yes, it happened. We're coming up on the 100th anniversary of it in like 20 years or less than 20 years now. That shit happened. It's real. She's not allowed to talk about it, but Pedro Pascal is literally allowed to call half of, American Nazis, and another employee of Disney is allowed to say people who have children that are of this political party need to be thrown into wood chippers, and they're not fired, but Gina is.
Mm-hmm.
Some women say all white people are evil and white people are bad, but somebody who's not a racist, who's never said anything about a person's skin color, gets fired, but the ones that are actually spewing legit racism are fired.
Yeah. No, it's really fucked up. And I always come back to this. And I'm really glad that you encouraged me so much to make a video. It's really a lot of that was what pushed me into doing it and doing my take on it, because I'm just fucking over, like, unless you have it documented that you have been fighting for Jewish rights, since you got into the conversation, shut the fuck up about anti-Semitism and Jewish this and Jewish that, because y'all only fucking care when it serves your agenda. And I'm so sick of hearing people want to try to pander to me and tell me what it ends up becoming. It's like, get every single person who's tried to pander to my perspective. The funny thing is, it's even happened with people who are on my side, but still trying to pander to me because I'm Jewish. Don't. If you're on my side, then we're on the same side. You don't have to pander to me. You don't need to convince me you're on my side. I believe you. Because even on our side, the second you start pandering, it's the same shit that we call out over there. We smell that shit clear as day. When I call it, when I'm calling this shit out, people pandering, to people of different races and gender orientations and whatnot, I smell that bullshit just as strong when someone comes pandering to me because, oh, you're Jewish and this and that. And no, I'm not suddenly going to take up your social justice crusade because y'all came knocking on my door telling me this is a Jewish issue right now. I fucking live Jewish issues every day of my goddamn life. I don't need you to tell me what is and what is not, because 3 weeks ago or 3 months ago or last year, when I had a real fucking Jewish issue I wanted to bring to your attention, your ass wanted to tell me why it wasn't a real problem or how I just didn't matter because I'm too white. So fuck you. Stuff your anti-Semitic anti-Semitic crusading up your fucking asshole where it belongs. Shut the fuck up and make a real argument, because guess what? There are 1,000 real arguments to be made about this subject without pandering to Jewish people or even bringing Judaism really into it. So if you're Jewish or have a connection to Judaism and feel very strongly that about that talking point when discussing this, go ahead. But if not, just fucking talk about it. Stop trying to fucking convince all the Jews we should feel one way about it. We are people. We will feel however the fuck we want to feel about it. And we're not all going to feel the same way. So stop treating us like you treat every fucking group you want to tokenize and utilize to virtue signal when it's fucking convenient. I'm not your fucking virtue signal.
Exactly. And I mean, Quartering actually had a good clip in the beginning. They had I'm not too familiar with the women's MMA, but it's I guess a guy that knows Gina and is part of the MMA, and he said, oh, like, well, how do you feel about this whole Gina Carano situation? He's like, yeah, it's fucked up. Everyone makes mistakes. She shouldn't have been fired. And also, I guess this one guy who's Jewish that writes for the MMA basically made it all about him. And he calls him out. He's like, yeah, that one asshole made it all about him. And that's fucking wrong. And so it's funny because people are calling her anti-Semitic. And it's like, Ben Shapiro literally hired her.
Yeah,
and he's
exactly.
Jewish. He's like an Orthodox Jew, right?
Exactly. So obviously, and that's the thing, Ben Shapiro and I have disagreed in the past on certain issues that will be regarded as Jewish issues. Because
also, everyone, I just want to let you know, I did a screen recording of the comments on the Kathleen Kennedy video. So this is my screen recording. I screen recorded for like 42 minutes. So that's what's up on the screen. These are all now deleted or hidden comments, by the way. So go ahead. Sorry.
No worries. And it's important to note. So by all means, tune in. I've been leaning in a little bit to catch a few of them too. No, but it doesn't. I just lost my train of thought. It doesn't matter. It was something along those lines too about like it just. It's gone.
I'm sorry. Anyone in the chat? I feel really bad.
Oh, don't feel bad at all. I was probably just honestly just more similarly along the lines of what I was saying. Oh, that's what I don't remember what it was. It's the same shit, and every time I have conversations with people in different special interest groups whose cause has been taken up by the social justice warriors at a point or another, all feel very similarly, which is this doesn't represent me. There's a lot of trans.
And I like how they just immediately start speaking for you, Jessi.
Of course. Naturally it is, and this is I can't fucking, and the second you want to get involved in the conversation, well, you don't really, and that's always the thing too. It drives me effing crazy. That's why I dropped that card right off the bat, because I'll go toe to toe with somebody over Jewish this, Jewish that, and whatnot. And then when the second they want to try to get all insistent about, well, no, Jewish people, and then the thing is, you can tell by the way somebody talks about Jewish people, whether you're one of them or not. We can tell. Y'all may not be able to tell I'm Jewish by looking at me, but Jews can tell I'm Jewish by how I talk about Judaism. And so when you're not, and you want to start talking, like this was the point I made in the very, very beginning of my video. Before you start lecturing anybody about how certain people feel, first of all, probably be part of that group before you think you have the authority to go tell anybody else how to feel about that group. Second of all, don't ever assume you have the authority to tell anybody how to feel about any group of people, or ever assume that you are the representative of that whole group. I had one asshole in my comment section that could not wrap his head around that fact. Kept going, you don't represent the Jews. You don't speak for all the Jews, Jessi. All I responded to him was basically, you're a moron, because I won't get into it with people like that. But the thing is I'm not trying to. I am trying to tell you that the people out there saying they represent the Jews don't, because here I am not agreeing with them. I'm not saying my perspective represents all of the Jews. I'm saying that I'm entitled to this perspective as much as anybody else, and it's nobody's business. It is nobody's business to tell anybody else how anyone other than themselves feels about anything. Period. End of story. Mind your own fucking feelings. Deal with how you feel. And don't worry about deciding how other people feel. Decide how you feel about the way they feel, and that's about as far as you can fucking take it. I don't know what else, and that's if that concept is unpalatable, then I don't have time for you, because it's all of my rules of engagement are based on very basic things. Listen to the other person. Respect the other person's point of view, give everyone equal time to talk and share their perspective, and treat everybody's perspective, honor it with the respect that you give your own. That's it. Tolerate differences, tolerate anything except intolerance. That's it. I don't know why that is so unpalatable for some people.
Well, I think that they just don't care. That's the thing. It only matters is if it benefits them and if it's about them. That's all that they care about, Jessi.
I mean, in case in point, the example you brought up of the one guy immediately wanted to make it about him, and the other reporter calling it out and just called the guy a douche. Basically, called it exactly what it is. So you don't speak for all these people. The fact that you want to sit here and get on your high horse and act like you speak for an entire group of people, fuck you. You can speak your opinion. That's the whole thing. I don't give a shit if you want to speak your opinion. If you want to get on there and go, I think what she said was absolutely wrong. I find it horrifically offensive and I agree with her being fired. A+. If you want to say as a Jewish man, I feel this way. A fucking plus. But there is a world of, there's an ocean between, as a Jewish man, I feel X, Y, and Z about Gina Carano's statements, and Jewish people feel this way, or this is what she did to the Jews, or this or that, because you ain't our fucking spokesperson. You ain't shit to me. So you don't speak for me or my opinions or my feelings. Nobody does except for me. That's the thing that drives me crazy. We're in a world where more than ever, the opportunity for individualism is rampant, is everywhere. It's social media, the internet, all of this stuff. Everybody has infinite capacity to expand. Fucking laws protecting everyone's fifis and identity. Everybody now has infinite capacity to express their individuality. So why the fuck are we in a place where we are so obsessed with grouping things together and making labels and this and that? Part of it, I realize, and if you're there, feel free to jump in. I just figure you might be off somewhere.
Sorry. No, I had UPS pickup came in, and the people that are supposed to, they didn't basically let me know that the UPS was coming today, so I didn't have a box ready for it. So communication is key when you're working with other people. I'm sorry. I just missed the last minute and a half.
Oh, no worries. I kind of figured you were occupied, so I was just sort of
sorry. I apologize.
No worries. I was monologuing.
Go ahead. So fill me in. What did I just miss?
Well, I remember where I was just about. Oh yeah, labeling. How now it's easier than ever to be an individual, and yet there's this obsession with putting people in boxes, with creating labels, with with codifying groups based on those labels. Oh, well, you're alphabet people, so you believe these things. Okay, well, you're social justice warriors, you believe these things. You're liberals, you believe these things. You're conservatives, you believe these things. We put everyone in a box, and we reduce them to the most basic generic versions of themselves. Mm-hmm. Which is a ridiculous thing to do when we have more ability than ever to express every little bitty facet of our individual selves and lives. And most people are doing that. Most people are going on fucking doing it on their Instagram, on their TikTok, on their social media. They are doing everything they possibly can to express those deep human desires, that drive them to crave popularity and acceptance and all this bullshit that we all fucking have. Everyone is out there trying desperately to tell you who they are. And because everyone else is so wrapped up in doing that, no one is bothering to listen. Just stop trying to tell everyone else what you think for a day, for one day. Don't tell anyone else what you think. Just go and listen to everyone else trying so desperately to tell you who they are and what they think. You will see a lot of patterns. You'll probably find a lot of parallels in your own life and the shit that you do too. And you'll start to realize that we're all looking for the same things. And because we're also singularly focused on getting it for ourselves, we are summarily denying it the people around us. And in giving it to those people around us, it is the only way we get it back for ourselves. So
well said. You're always very articulate.
I like talking.
Well, you're good at it.
That's
one thing. I feel like I babble too much. And I notice this. This is one thing that I say a lot, which I feel bad about, but I say, over and over again. I don't say I don't say, well, I think I might say a little bit. But I was listening to a video back, and every other sentence was, and I'm like, oh shit, I need to stop this.
I'm a heavy I know that about myself.
See, this isn't, since I put this up, we're not even halfway through. We're only 17 minutes in of this. So I am uploading this over to my secondary channel, which is That Star Wars Girl Live. If you guys want to see this, I have to put a disclaimer in the beginning for it, but It's very telling.
It definitely is. I've been enjoying watching this girl. And shout out to Riley Hallbrook, has been giving me a lot of love in the chat.
Aww.
Thank you.
Anyone that gives Jessi love in the chat, we like.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, I don't think we really talked too much about this. So for those of you that missed what this is actually about, it's basically Kathleen Kennedy saying, hey, you know, here's some women and women innovation and, you know, doing this, this, and this. But then the majority of the comments, if you know, you can see it, is that, you know, they, she likes to virtue signal about women in media and women and, you know, breaking the glass ceiling for women. But then the second a woman has an opinion that you don't like, what happens? Bye, Felicia. We're not even going to call you. We're going to post it on social media. And that's how you're going to find out that you're fired.
Yeah, that was bullshit. The thing is, it's the shitty way that acting works too. It's like, the thing is, outside of that social media announcement, she probably would not have gotten notified, which is really bullshit at her, you know, working at that level and being with UTA and all that stuff is like, if you want to get technical, Gina Carano was not fired. She simply was not cast in the next season of the show. You know, they don't contract shows out beyond, sometimes they don't even contract you for the full season at a time. So when a show ends and they're in flux and going to the next season, so she probably had an inkling that it was coming because she hadn't been contacted about doing the next season yet. So she probably had an inkling that something was going on. But typically, like, if you're just a regular whatever something, you know, a regular actor on a recurring role on a whatever show and this, that, the other, no, any recurring role, you're probably going to get a call to let you know that you are.
Well, if you have a good agent, right? Don't they just do it by season?
Yeah, but the whole thing is so that's what I'm saying is like they don't ever have to call her up and be like, hey, you're fired, because she wouldn't have been under contract yet for the third season. Basically, they just never put under contract for the third season. Mm-hmm. So again, she probably had an inkling that it was coming because it was probably past the point she would have expected to be renewed. You know, she's friendly with Pedro Pascal. You know, he probably knew some new things and all that. But it really is it's a horrible sign of disrespect that they did that to her like that. Basically, they treated her like she's just any nobody, nothing actress, not someone who's built an incredible.
Well, they leaked how much they paid her. She was only making about $25,000 per episode.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, Disney has unlimited fucking well, maybe not now because their money, their money grubs, which were the parks, are not open. Yeah. So
now, to be fair, that's also, for where she was at in her career, I would expect her to be a lower paid series regular on that show. But it's also like the disrespect and the treatment in the way they treated her with it really is glaring, because the whole thing is like, again, it's also a little different. It's not like she just came out of nowhere, like she's just been some nobody actress working in the streets of LA trying to make a role. She has a name for herself. She has an impressive career in the MMA, being a fucking fighter, and then has transitioned over and been working seriously, gave up that career and has been working very seriously towards making an acting career for herself. And this is a huge break for her, a huge thing. You expect her to be, from a role like this, ordinarily to be catapulted onto bigger and better things. And so the gesture of just putting out a PR statement, not even saying like, because again, Johnny Depp gets fired because he's under a multi-movie contract for Pirates of the Caribbean. Gina Carano doesn't even get fired. Gina Carano just doesn't get a call to do season 3, which, like, it's, to me, that's so much worse, because it's the way they're trying to treat her is basically that you ain't shit. We'll fucking sit here and stand by these writers who are even less than you, who have done less than you have, and have run their mouth in more vile ways, when all you've tried to do is start conversations, maybe in ways that are a little too edgy for some people to handle, but that's all she was trying to do, and you really can't accuse her of doing worse than that. And to not just fire her, cancel her, all that shit, but to dismiss her in this way of like, oh, please stop asking us about this Gina Carano person. We don't even know who she is anymore. It's so dismissive.
Especially since they were, remember when we were at Star Wars Celebration and they're like, here's Gina, Gina Carano. She's going to be the strong, powerful woman that's in this. And everyone was going crazy. And remember how nice she was? And me and you were both like, wow. Because she's just like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be a part of this family. You guys are so opening and like welcoming to me. And she was so genuinely happy and it was really infectious. And me and you were like, oh, we weren't really sure about her at first, but now it's like, yeah, we like her. She seems like a really nice person. And then look what they did. The second that you do something they don't like, you're the embodiment of all evil.
Which is the funny thing, too, because it was like you had a big fucking win right there. You had a strong female character to pander to your social justice crowd, but a well-written female character played by an actress who had the toughness and badassery to back up being a fighter. Everyone was on board because we were proving, and there was such a great opportunity to prove the point. We do not hate women. We just hate poorly written characters. You gave us a well-written female, and this is they're gonna want to now. You want to turn this on us? Oh, you guys just like Cara Dune because you like Gina Carano because she's a conservative. Blah blah blah. I didn't fucking know anything about any pervert kinds of tweets she made or anything like that before buying into Cara Dune, the character on the show. So it had nothing to do with that. And yeah, turns out, oh my God, you're actually authentic, true to life, strong woman happens to be a person who speaks her mind publicly and can't be silenced. Well, sounds like the traits you were going for when you cast an authentically strong woman to play your strong female role. And now you're mad about it. Now you want to fire her and cut her down for being exactly the thing that your brand so desperately needs. Yeah, that's cool, Disney. You have fun with that. And if you weren't reeling from enough bad publicity to fucking romance writer who wants to ask Rian Johnson about his fucking trilogy, because that's the press that Disney needs right now.
Oh yeah, the Raylo. So let me see. I'll pause this for a minute. Look, we're not even like over. I guess we are a little bit over halfway. I'll play this. Let me get it pulled up. So Ryan, I did a video on this the other day, but it's like, okay, what qualifications do you need to be able to interview a celebrity? Apparently, you just need to be a romance novelist for, I don't know, just a romance novelist.
Didn't she win like a raffle or something?
I don't know the entire background, so
That's what it was. Everyone's making it out like this big interview that he did and whatnot. She fucking like won a raffle or something.
It's a Zoom call.
Oh yeah, it's like a Zoom. It was some raffle where she had to win a Zoom call and got to ask him some questions, and that's what she decided to fucking ask him. So,
about Raylo.
She won about whether or not about his new trilogy too. She wanted to ask about whether he's getting a new trilogy.
Well, so this is the lady. So if you go to her thing, this is literally her pinned tweet. Read the book inspired by me meeting Adam Driver, because she is a romance novelist and a huge Raylo fan. And so she wrote a book, a romance novel based on her, inspired by her meeting Adam Driver. You guys want to see the picture of her meeting Adam Driver? You can't make this shit up. You literally can't make this shit up.
Dude,
and so here's the link. And that was a comment on there. Like, she wrote a book about this experience. She's a mom. She's got 4 kids, and it's like, oh my God, those are the people that Disney has.
In the book, when he's walking down the fucking red carpet, he catches her eye and just has to find her and pulls her into the back, and they have a whirlwind romance and blah blah blah, because she's just the woman he's been waiting his whole life for.
Basically, that's basically the summary of it.
What a fucking garbage woman. I just thought that was hysterical. I'm like, this is just precious. Everyone's blows up like Rian Johnson's getting it. Rian Johnson is always going to say that because Rian Johnson is an insufferable twat.
That's exactly what I said in my video. I'm like, he'll be on his deathbed and he'll still be saying that his trilogy is coming. You know, you literally ask one of the most narcissistic people in Hollywood, hey, when is your trilogy coming? He's like, oh yeah, nothing's in the works right now because I'm busy doing other things. He's gonna say that until the day he fucking dies.
Of course he is, which is just idiotic because it's like, dude, you have an opportunity to bow out gracefully. Oh, COVID changed things and we're in conversations and blah. Like, you have an opportunity to back away from this very gracefully and use the COVID excuse without and totally save face, but you're not going to. You're gonna act like it's still totally happening, and then eventually you're gonna end up with a big fucking egg on your face because it's not fucking happening, and we're all gonna laugh at you when that's the case. So, have fun, asshole.
Yeah, so I mean, going through these comments, I'm so glad. I had a huge inkling that this was going to happen. And so the fact that it did, I'm so glad that I spent 40 fucking minutes screen recording this shit, you know?
That is valuable. And I'm glad
all the fucking comments. So I'm actually, like I said, I'm going to be uploading this over onto my secondary channel.
Oh my God, yay.
So you guys can all go back and look at that. But I mean, there was a point where I was 4 hours back and it just wasn't loading, you know?
That's hilarious. That's amazing. I'm so glad you have this. It's so hilarious. It's just really funny to me. Like, why would you do this when you know there is a massive online community that despises Kathleen Kennedy? And like, there is not a massive online community that adores her. Like, I'm sure she has fans and stuff, but like, people like her don't usually get fans. Fans usually don't even realize what, you know, her roles are in creating the stuff they like. People like us realize what her role is in destroying the shit we love and talk about how terrible she is. But it's like, how did you think this was going to go any way other than this? But no, totally, it's fine. Just remove the public opinion on it. Remove how we think and feel about it. That's totally cool. It's not important what we think. All is important is what you tell us we're supposed to think.
I brought up my stream over here, and so it showed I am one of those people, I drag things off of, you know, Google for thumbnails, and I just leave it on my background until I finally run out of space.
Yep.
So I know it showed my screen earlier. Yeah, I know it's embarrassing, but whatever. I'm one of those people. I'm chaotically organized, and I know where everything is that way. When everything's put away, you can find shit.
We were just having that conversation, Jeff and I, earlier today about how we're both like that. We're like, it looks like chaos, but we know where shit is. Usually.
Exactly. Everyone, though, thank you to the 900 and almost 50 people watching. If you could smash the like button. If you are not subscribed, take a minute, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. Also, Jessi's channel is linked in the description. If my moderators can be lovely human beings and drop the link to her channel in the comment section below, that would be awesome. So I actually want to play this video, and we're going to talk about it, Jessi. Let's see. Here we go. So yeah, the stalker herself. So this is Kathleen Kennedy's. Oh, I don't want to play this one because let me stop screen sharing for a second. Let me get the other one up here. It's Kathleen Kennedy's fucking Oscar video. So that way I can leave that so we can maybe actually go through and let's see and find and maybe read a little bit of these comments. I'm kind of sad I didn't leave a comment, but it is what it is.
I'm still most proud of when Brie Larson asked in her first video suggestions of what to do. My comment was Tide Pod Challenge.
Oh yeah, that was glorious and hilarious at the same time. Also, we will get to the super chats in a minute, everyone. Thank you for your patience. So let me share screen. Screen one. Oh, is that the right screen? No, this is the right screen. Share audio. There we go. All right, so you guys ready to like EFAP this Kathleen Kennedy video, which now has the likes and dislikes turned off?
Oh my God.
All right, you guys ready?
So ready.
Fade in. That I think is the funniest part. She didn't even edit it, and it's not even her fault. It's the editor's fault. So when I had this in my video earlier, I edited it for them. I'm like, here you guys go.
Oh God, how did you not tell her?
Well, so it's somebody who's like, one of the funny comments that's now gone that you can't read said, "Oh, the editor must be a Phantom Menace."
Because like that, you can't even follow her for that. She probably never fucking reads anything ever. It's not her job. She's not an on-camera person.
But come on, at least edit that out. Which I said, I'm like, this is the Oscars. Remember the people that give out the Academy fucking awards and they can't hire a good editor?
Right. Like,
whatever.
You guys, oh my God.
So if I have an echo, because sometimes that happens when I'm playing a video and I'm sharing the audio. So let me know in the chat if there is an echo, because it would kind of be it's kind of a pain in the ass to have to mute and unmute myself, because then I can't talk while we're doing this. But let me know. I'm gonna try it without muting myself. But if there is an echo, let me know and I'll mute myself. So here we go. You ready? You ready to hear what this woman has to say?
So ready.
Lori Atkin, she was the first. Honored with a Scientific and Technical Award in 1961 for her work at Technicolor, Lori was a scientist artist, a storyteller, a glass ceiling breaker.
I like how it's so obvious that she's fucking reading.
She's just reading off the script. It's like
there's no passion. Okay, there is an echo. Okay, I apologize, everyone. So there's no passion behind this. She's not like, Lori was this groundbreaking. She broke the glass ceiling. She did this stuff. She set the tone for women in film. It's Lori was a this, and she worked for Technicolor. Da 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 da.
It's so impersonal. I mean, you'd think like that's first of all, this is why they usually have actors present awards, is because you understand how to present some shit. It's like you're talking about something that's supposed to be important. You're being shown in this video as a representative of powerful women in your industry. Sit down and read the story of this woman you're talking about, this first woman you're talking about. Read a little bit about these three women you're honoring. Because that little bit, 10 minutes, an hour, reading, their Wikipedia pages will give you a connection to them. And we'll hear that when you talk about them. Or fucking going over the script more than twice ahead of time will allow you to feel conversational and not like you're reading off a fucking script. This is the shit that pisses me off too, is people like her. And it's not just, Kathleen Kennedy, all her fault in Lucasfilm, but a lot of people in this position in the industry where they go wrong creatively too. It's you want to treat actors like we're just the shit on the bottom of your shoe and this and that. We bring the thing you don't have, that emotional life that your stories desperately need. And when people like this start sticking their nose into the creative process, is it any wonder why that life gets sucked out?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, you ready? You ready to dive back into this? Here we go.
I guess.
Cut to 2021 and Lori's pioneering legacy
to 2021
story of women shattering what is possible in the science and technology of filmmaking. This year, Haley Iben of Pixar Animation Studios, Kelly Ward Hamill, and Mary Ann Simmons of Walt Disney Animation Studios will be the recipients of the 24th, 25th, and 26th Science and Technical Award presented to women by the Academy. Haley, Kelly, and Mary Ann are honored for their innovations in hair simulation.
Hair simulation. They animated Elsa's hair for Let It Go.
Good for them.
Well, whatever came out in, I guess, 2020, right? So that was what I thought was, okay, first off, the SJWs, they're going to lose their mind because there was no women of color. It was 3 white women, and they're winning the award for simulating hair, which is a stereotype of women.
I fucking love it. We're going to honor these women of all the technical achievements so we can prove that women are just as technologically capable in these science-based fields as men. These 3 women made hair flow really pretty.
Yep. Which, I mean, honestly, hair is extremely hard to animate.
Absolutely.
It is very, very difficult. But I feel like you and I, we deal with these weirdos so much that they're going to lose their mind. Heck, when I just did my She-Hulk redraw, or I shouldn't say redraw, my paint over, because that's exactly what it was. I gave it female hair because it was literally just a dude that they said was a She-Hulk, and it's like, no, She-Hulk's feminine. Guess what? Women pay attention to our hair. We like doing our hair, even if you don't like doing your hair, like you, Jessi. You don't spend as much time on your hair as I do, but you care about the presentation of your hair, or else you wouldn't bother styling it in any way, shape, or form. And even men care about their hair too, you know? So, see, I said, I need to break that damn habit. But it is very difficult to do. But you and I already know how these people lose their mind. If women have anything to do with any type of feminine type of stereotype, like doing hair, like anything related to being feminine, they're going to lose their mind. They're going to see this. They're not going to care that, oh my gosh, it's a woman achievement. They're going to look, oh, look, all of those women are white with blonde hair. And they won something for hair. So I can already see those weirdos losing their mind about that. But the fact that Kathleen Kennedy is talking about women's achievements.
Well, here's the craziest thing on that point that you were making, though, about the hair and all this. I mean, look at the two on the ends. The one in the middle, she looks like she's not that much older than I am. But the two on the ends, these women are older women who came up in Hollywood, came up in the industry, at a different time, probably, and had different. The thing is, there's probably a lot of validity in the word that they're receiving. They've probably done a ton of work in their field. They probably have innovated, and the things that they did to make Elsa's hair flow in the breeze or whatever they may have done probably were incredible scientific achievements. And the social justice crowd will tear them the fuck down for exactly those reasons. Why? Because they're white and because it's hair and oh my God. And so you're actually, instead of turning your focus or talking about the account or this or that, you are going to take something beautiful away from three women who have probably faced a lot of gender-based discrimination at their workplace and who have worked their asses off to earn this. You are going to sour this and ruin this because your personal talking points that you probably have no fucking relevant life experiences for are more important than the work that these three women did.
Mm-hmm. Also, I see this comment. We will go and look at the other comment sections. We're going to finish listening to what Kathleen Kennedy says because the next thing that she says is extremely ironic. So I'm going to mute myself again. What? Sorry.
Could they not just have said for innovations in motion animation, specifically, hair in this movie or whatever? Like, they could have, you could be aware of this and that's the hilarious thing is they're constantly trying to pander to an audience without actually understanding what that audience is looking for because they do dumb shit like this where it's like all you have to do is say for innovations in motion animation, done, and then you remove that trap. You fell
well,
right.
They didn't even have to say motion animation because that's kind of redundant because it's just animation is motion itself, like animated motion, or not real.
Yeah, innovations in motion, right? The innovations in motion. Hooray.
Well, so this next part is so ironic. Jessi's probably going to spit out her drink. So I have to mute myself so there's no echo. So let's finish this because it's almost over.
Are honored for their innovations in hair simulation. And this year marks the most women honored at a single scientific and technical awards. Is there work to be done? More barriers to break? More progress to be made? Yes, of course.
Yes, of course. There's progress to be made. As in, don't be a sexist fucking cunt and fire a woman like Gina Carano, but keep Pedro Pascal because he has politics that you like. Somebody said this, Jessi. They're like, Anna, you only are defending Gina because you like her politics. And I'm like, I've defended Mark Hamill more than any other person on my channel. He has, based on what they post, he is the exact opposite politics of Gina Carano. So that in and of itself, I'm like, you don't know anything about me. I defend what I think is right and what's wrong. And if somebody is being wronged unjustly, I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to defend the person that I think is being, mistreated, which in this case is Gina. They mistreated Mark Hamill because what was his crime? He was a white man that represented hope to an entire generation of people. And he was the lead of the movie. Kathleen Kennedy wanted it to be a woman. So what did she do? Oh, we need to make a woman more important. So let's cut down a man.
Yeah, that's apparently the only way we can do that. Damn it. Sorry.
Well, So she's saying, yeah, we still have more things to do and achieve. So it's like, okay, Kathleen Kennedy, what have you done as the president of Lucasfilm? It took you, Jon Favreau was actually the man that came in after she fucked up the Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy. She fucked up Star Wars. So a man came in to create a show that actually, fans liked, a majority of fans and normies liked The Mandalorian. What did he do? He brought in the first female director on Star Wars, not Kathleen Kennedy. Jon Favreau did that. Then what does Kathleen Kennedy do when she sees, oh, well, we need female representation, even though she could have started off, instead of hiring J.J. Abrams, she could have had a female director. Instead of doing that, what does she do? Oh, okay, well, we need a woman here since Jon Favreau beat me to it, even though I had years to do it. What does she do? Okay, let me go hire Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant to do a show for, Disney Plus called The Acolyte. Let me go do that. Let me go call up Harvey Weinstein's ex-personal assistant to go direct a show, even though she could have started off with having a female director. And heck, there was one, the first female director to win an Oscar, which she directed The Hurt Locker. I cannot remember her name, even though I looked it up right before the stream because I wasn't sure about it.
Catherine Bigelow.
There you go. Kathleen Bigelow. She could have hired her. She said, oh, this was the first female director to win an Oscar. I'm going to have her direct the new Star Wars movie for Disney.
Catherine Bigelow would have been an awesome choice because Catherine Bigelow has a great track record directing action and directing military movies too, which comes into play when you're doing a Star Wars film because, there are armies fighting. So understanding how to present militaries actually would have been a great asset. I bet Catherine Bigelow would have done a bang-up job. And she's demonstrated with movies like Point Break that she absolutely knows how to write male characters and characters that are palatable to men as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
so just women like that, somebody that is qualified personally, I think, to direct a Star Wars film. What does Kathleen Kennedy do? No. Let's get J.J. Abrams. Let's not get a woman. Let's not say, oh, hey, guess what? We need to break the glass ceiling. We need to have, more women in charge of things. Kathleen Kennedy, a woman, hired men. It took a man to come in to hire the first female director for Star Wars. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that completely hypocritical of her? And then when a woman is saying things that she doesn't agree with, she fires her. She didn't even have the balls to get one of her employees to call her to fire her. She just has someone from Lucasfilm announced via social media, hey, Gina Carano is fired. But then a man, Pedro Pascal, is saying, basically doing the same political tweets that Gina's doing, just on the opposite side of the fence, and he doesn't lose his job. Isn't that ironic, Jessi?
Very ironic. Really speaks to a pro-woman sense of leadership there. Also really interesting, too, when you look at the women that Kathleen Kennedy has given shots to. So Leslie Headland, somebody who, for all intents and purposes, is probably extremely connected herself, because that's the entire reason you become someone's personal assistant in Hollywood, right? Is to get all of their connections to then do whatever it is your actual goals are. So she is extremely well connected. Obviously, she has a connection to Kathleen Kennedy, so clearly, with like 0 writing credits. So you're gonna give a handout to one of your insider buddies that you probably know because of Harvey Weinstein, and then you're gonna give handouts to all these writers, these nobody writers with no credits, with no track record, with nothing. Why? Because I'm sure you already have sway over Leslie Headland. She's part of your circle, so you already have established power over her. You have infinite power over these nobody writers who are never going to make anything of themselves, anything like that. Meanwhile, Gina Carano, the second she starts having a voice and a personality, she gone. But look at Jon Favreau. Look at who he hires to be his first director, female director on an episode. Right? It was Bryce Dallas Howard, right?
I think it was Bryce Dallas Howard, and then I cannot remember the other lady. My gosh, something Chu, right? No.
Yeah. Was
Elizabeth? No, that's not her name.
Deborah Chow. Chow.
Deborah
Sorry,
Chow. There we go.
Deborah Chow. Deborah Chow. Yeah, that's what I thought. CH. Oh, right. I think so. Anyway, so what's cool about that though is like immediately Bryce Dallas Howard is somebody with, famous daddy, with big connections of her own. He wants to get into the directing game clearly, and her acting stock has been on the rise over the past several years pretty consistently, and is getting into the behind the scenes game. It has all the power to do that. A powerful woman in Hollywood. Now, I may not have cared for the job she did on the episode, but she is undeniably a powerful woman in Hollywood who, didn't do a great job on her first, wasn't that her first directing thing too? Her first directing project or something like that. But she ain't going anywhere. She's going to have a place in Hollywood as long as she fucking wants to be, as long as she doesn't get herself canceled. And Jon Favreau, not afraid to put her on a project and work with her. Kathleen Kennedy will not work with other women of that caliber. And even so, even though she is still miles above, Bryce Dallas Howard is no threat to her whatsoever, she still will not work with a woman that powerful who has connections of that caliber. And And it really is a symptom of a lot of women who came up at the time she came up. It sucks. It's sad because they had to fight tooth and nail to be taken seriously, to get the things that they wanted. They had to be a certain type of person to get where they got in their careers. And they had to deal with a certain type of shit on the way. And as a result, a lot of women in those positions get very jealous and covetous of other women who are trying to rise up because they feel like there isn't room for more than one. And so they got to keep everyone else down, not realizing that the entire purpose of their path was to pave the way so that there was room for more than one. And they ultimately, for all the work they do to break down barriers and this and that and the other, grow up and become the thing that they fought against their entire life.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what Kathleen Kennedy's MO is. It's when Solo was coming out, right? There was all of that controversy around it. I covered it, you covered it, Jeff covered it. Basically, everyone was covering this shit because it was just a jumblefuck catastrophe. She's hiring directors, she's firing directors. Why do you think the hashtag Solo lost money? You know, Ethan Van Sciver, his Solo t-shirts were his best-selling t-shirts to date. So it's funny because she could have easily. How many Star Wars movies have come out? Okay, was Rogue One. There was the sequel trilogy, 3 movies right there, and then there was Solo. Yeah. Did I miss any Star Wars movies?
Nope, 5.
So five Star Wars movies. None of them had a female director. Kathleen Kennedy could have made all of those. She could have given 5 different women a chance, but guess what? She gave men chances.
Wow. Were there any female writers credited on those films either?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't know either, but I know there were no primary screenwriters listed. I know that, so maybe some women on the writing teams or in the writing rooms or whatnot.
Well, she had the story group, which she just casually was fired. The lead female story group. So, and you and I have had to deal with this a lot because, hey, guess what? Me and Jessi are both women. We know what it's like to deal with other women. And I know firsthand that I don't like working with a majority of other women. It's very rare for me to find a woman that I can get along with because guess what? Women are catty bitches. They're vengeful. They're very fake too. They won't tell you the truth straight up. So it's very rare when I find a woman that I genuinely get along with because also women are backstabbing cunts. Me and Jessi had this conversation a long time ago about, we weren't sure if each other were like a real geek or not because a lot of women that's why the term fake geek girl is around there. Because guess what? They exist.
They really do.
They stand out like a sore fucking thumb when it's just a girl that is pretending to like something to get attention. Now, me and Jessi, we actually talked about this because we went to Chicago and, we shared a hotel room and we're like, I think both of us were thinking because we talked about it later, like, oh my God, we're going to kill each other. And then what happened, Jess?
We got along so surprisingly well. We didn't have a single issue. We didn't have a single moment of getting sick of each other. And I'm someone who usually really values my alone time and my space. And I do not like other people. If I can't be around anyone for that long a period, unless they have that chill where you can just quietly not tax each other's emotional life while you're in the same space. And that's what happened. We just everything was fun. There was so much fun the whole week. We were on the same page about fucking everything. And it was like, wow, I guess you're the real fucking deal.
Yeah. And I mean, even before that, but I think us being stuck together for a week, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
My little StreamYard just showed a signal thing, a weak signal. So if I do start cutting out, let me know. But hello, 1,000 people watching. Please smash the like button. And if you are not subscribed, smash the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. To subscribe to a channel is absolutely free. And check out my content. Also, Jessi's channel is linked in the description of this video. So go give Jessi a like and subscribe. Her channel is Mindless Entertainment. Mods, if you could drop that in the chat, that would be amazing. We are currently talking about just the hypocrisy of Kathleen Kennedy because and what it's like when you actually deal with women. So when I was working, I do freelance, right? But when I was in person, this is actually how I finally was like, fuck this. I'm never working with other people like this again. So women get insanely jealous, right? That's one of our biggest flaws that I think all women have is that we have jealousy. And I mean, that's known throughout time. You go read any fucking book, you go look at anything. Basically all throughout history, women are known for our virtues, but then our faults is almost always number one is jealousy. Kathleen Kennedy, again, had the opportunity to hire five Star Wars movies. She had the opportunity to hire 5 different women to direct a Star Wars movie and she believes in women, right? She's the one that the Oscars picked to give this presentation for the females that did groundbreaking in science and technical awards. And she's talking about breaking the glass ceiling and making room for more women, and women have, we need more opportunities to succeed. She had the opportunity to give at least 5 different women roles as directing Star Wars films. She didn't give it to a single woman. She gave it all to men. So she's a complete fucking hypocrite.
Maybe if she had given those roles to women, they would have come up with films that had, I don't know, more palatable female characters, and maybe she wouldn't have had a whole bunch of flops on her hand. $1 billion flop.
Yeah. And I mean, she could have easily found, I said it again. I'm trying to break the habit of, she could have actually found female fans or female writers out there or female directors. Like I was saying earlier with the woman that directed The Hurt Locker.
She would have been a great choice.
There are plenty of women with experience, but no, she wanted J.J. Abrams. She wanted she wanted Ryan Johnson. She wanted all of these other men to go and direct Star Wars movies and to be the head of all of this. But
she picked a bunch of sycophantic fanboys. I mean, it's no accident the type of men she picked too, She
wants subservient men that will do whatever she says. Exactly. She doesn't want anyone that's going to challenge her, like Gina Carano.
It's no accident that she swapped out, 2 of the hottest, most exciting up-and-coming comedy directors for the world's most milquetoast director ever, and somebody that I'm sure she has a close personal relationship with and feels very comfortable with, and they kind of just know how to not rock the boat, So it's a pattern of behavior. It's really not, it's very transparent, she's very, all of her actions, everything's consistent, This is not like this great mystery for us to sit here and unravel. We're pretty much like, we can look at this and just tell you exactly everything we say tracks with everything we've seen before, and it'll track with everything we see from her, moving forward. She's very transparent. She's not cagey or shady or this or that. She's pretty much on the fucking nose with this shit. She's not even trying to hide it, really.
Yeah, so let me finish playing the video because I wanted to stop and talk about that part. It's almost over, I promise.
Yeah, I heard someone bitching about having to see your face.
Story of women innovators making movie magic. Their story isn't ready to fade out, not even close. Today, more than ever, cinema storytelling is science. Cinema storytelling is technology. And women are helping to redefine science and technology in the movies. And that means a brave, bold future without limits for each and every storyteller.
Wow, so inspiring.
Without limits, except for Gina. Gina was limited on what she was allowed to say on social media. Pedro Pascal wasn't, but Gina was. Okay, so let me see. So yeah, comments are now turned off. There's the, the like to dislike ratio has been taken away. I got screenshots up. It's never gonna end.
That will never not be
so
funny.
Somebody said go check the last Oscar video. Comments continues. Okay, so let's go to the Oscars. So I like how that one has views now. So here we go. History of Science and Tech Awards. So is Kathleen Kennedy in this one too?
Maybe.
No, it's just like
it may just. I think it's just people probably using it as a vessel to rant about.
So people are using it. So it's the same one carried over. So here are the comments. And then there's the like to dislike ratio. So you turn off the comments on the 10K dislikes versus 100 2 likes on Kathleen Kennedy video. Is there no bone of integrity with you people? Hashtag justice for Gina. Hashtag justice for John Boyega. Hashtag justice for, oh shit, I don't know how to say that word.
I can't say it. Justice.
Cancel Disney Plus. Hashtag fire Kathleen Kennedy. Over 10,000 dislikes. Oh my gosh, they're not even kidding. Yeah, everyone moved over to this.
Dude, it's hilarious too. Like, oh fuck, just saw the train of thought again. It was a good train of thought too. It's so striking to me. The irony couldn't be clearer that she finishes the video saying how important it is to have let every storyteller tell their stories when they take the comments off the video. I was like, oh, every storyteller except for the people who have stories that you don't like or tell a story that you don't think is good or that people shouldn't see. So every storyteller that you decide deserves a shot or deserves a voice. It's almost it becomes this, like, at what point does it not become this like scary double talk of like, you know, someone looking you in the eye and saying your voice matters while like summarily sewing your mouth shut, you know? Like, that's what this shit feels like. It's that level of like scary future dystopian sci-fi. And at what point do we hit that point of no return? That's the whole thing. Is you have people saying everyone's being too alarmist. Everybody's, you know, people want to say that we're heading towards this horrible dystopian future, being way too alarmist and this and that and the other. And then you have those of us saying we're headed towards this horrible dystopian future. And the sad part is that if not enough people realize that that's where we're headed, then by the time that people do, it's too late. You don't course correct at that point. You know, you look throughout history. That's why we have history, because you can trace this shit back. This is not just people looking around and raising alarm bells for no fucking reason. It's people tracing the social and cultural evolutions throughout countries all over the world, throughout history, and observing patterns and seeing where patterns like this lead you. And it's not a good path. It leads to destabilized nations and civil wars and revolutions. And it's not fucking good for anybody. Certainly not for the economy.
It's not, but they're vilifying the people that they think are villains. But it's like, you should take a hard look in the mirror before you try to vilify people that are just expressing their opinions. Because, and this is the thing, people, especially narcissists, don't like hearing that they're wrong and cannot admit that they're wrong. You know, I fuck up all the time and I'll own up to it. And yeah, it's embarrassing sometimes when you seriously fuck up. But I mean, heck, half of my videos, I get comments saying, Anna, there's a typo in the title. I'm like, ah, shit, my dyslexic ass didn't catch that. Thanks for letting me know. And then, but with them, they're like, no, we can do nothing wrong. Like Ryan Johnson, is there any valid criticism to your movie? No. Kathleen Kennedy, oh, guess what? You did a video where you're being a complete hypocrite. What do? Turn off the likes to dislikes ratio. Turn off the comments. It's funny. It's funny how ironic, but people don't like being censored and they're going to fight for it.
Of course. No, people don't like being censored, and it's
408 now. Should just continue updating this.
That's why I love what Gina Carano is doing. Because the thing is, it's a huge step down for her to be, you know, doing the Daily Wire movie. But the flip of that is, there's also a lot of freedom she's going to get and creative control in that she probably wouldn't have been granted for a very long time, staying in the industry as she was. So the great part is that she's, rather than taking the L on it, you know, or looking for a new career, she's really doing the only thing you can do, which is not to fight back one-to-one or, you know, yell and scream and try to tear doors down, but just go out and continue to be the example that she's always been. You know, you don't like me, I'm not going to shut up. You don't like what I have to say, I'm going to go tell it to people who want to hear it. You don't like my stories, that's too bad. They're not going anywhere.
Exactly. And you know what I love is she could easily just be completely silent about it, right? She could shut her mouth, not post, delete all of social media, and just be completely subservient and silenced to it and keep her job, right? She could,
you know what else she could do? She had another route here. She probably could have built a lawsuit for libel against Disney, sued, and they could have quietly settled out of court for millions of dollars. But she would have had to sign NDAs and shit, and never been able to go public with this stuff, and probably never been able to act.
And she would have, honestly, if she did that, then nobody else would ever hire her again, because she's
exactly. Well, she probably would have to basically accept being blackballed
which Gina's not about. No. But instead of silence, so that way she could keep her job, she said, no, fuck this. I'm sticking to my guns and I'm going to do what I believe is right. Which, yeah, doing a show, which I didn't even know I don't know anything about the Daily Wire. I didn't know that they had a streaming service until I was reading that damn article. I was like, what? What is this? I don't know anything about Ben Shapiro. And I even said in my video, I'm like, I'm going to have to go ask Jessi, because all I know is that he's Jewish, but he's a certain type of Jew, which you said is different than the type that you are. Yeah, which, I mean, it's like Catholicism. There's different types, right? I'm right on this? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Christians.
Okay, well, all I know is that if you go to a different type of church, it's different. And so I don't know.
Yeah, there's different sects of Christianity too.
Yes, and I guess there's different sects of
Judaism, it's with Christianity, it's more like different branches. With Judaism, it's more like levels. So it's like reform.
Okay, I think that's the way I described it, because I said, from what you told me, is that he's more hardcore Jewish than you.
Exactly. Judaism, it's like reform, conservative, and orthodox are your basic levels. Reform is like, I do the holidays and shit. And yeah, it's like you're culturally Jewish, but you probably don't give a shit up to like you observe the holidays. And conservative is anywhere from like you go to synagogue like for the holidays, maybe for Shabbat, up to like you keep kosher probably at home. And then orthodox is like whole 9 yards, kosher, observing Shabbat, all that stuff. And all that. And then like within that, you have like the Hasids, which are slightly different versions of orthodoxy. And then at the reform level, you have the Reconstructionists, which are basically the social justice version of Judaism. So you have the weird little offshoots like that. But for the most part, it's like reform, conservative, orthodox, and you fall in some sort of sliding
And he's
scale
orthodox, right?
in there. He's orthodox. Yeah. And I'm reform. So
okay, so basically, and then everyone is saying, oh, because she posted that one meme that I guess used a picture from the Holocaust, which it's a TikTok post that she shared on her Instagram story. And you know, when you see something and you just share it, you know, it's like, oh, I like this post, and you share it, which is usually what happens on Instagram, not knowing the full context behind it. It's like I share quotes on my Instagram all the time, and then I'll get weird messages from people saying, Ree, why did they use that picture of that person? I'm like, it's just a quote, and the person used a high-def picture.
Yeah,
I don't even know who the fuck the person is in the picture.
Are you talking about the picture, though? Are you talking about the picture where she was, like, lauding the person standing up to the Nazis, though? Because, like,
they got her for that, and they called her racist for posting that. You know, the guy where everyone is doing the hail evil person from World War II, but he's not. He's going like this. She tweeted out that picture with the circle around him saying, "Be that person," when everyone else is hailing the embodiment of fucking evil. And people called her racist for posting that. I'll go get those tweets right now. They're over on Data Racer.
Well, thought she was hailing Nazis or something and didn't understand the context.
No, because people are fucking stupid. That's the problem. These mob on Twitter. Here we go. I got Data Racer.
What was the TikTok repost? I think I must have missed that.
That was the one that I showed you that people were losing their mind saying that she was anti-Semitic because.
Oh wait, the one that she got fired over?
Yeah. So this is what Pedro Pascal posts. He posted both of these. You know, he equated being a Trump supporter to being a Nazi and to being for slavery for the Confederacy. He didn't get fired, though. He didn't get fired for this. Also, I was told that this picture is from Mexico, not from America, which is also ironic. But so he didn't get fired, but Gina did. So let me get that post. So Data Racer is a great account to follow.
I'm so over people fucking trying to make that. It's not the same thing. Detention centers, immigration news. It sucks. It's sad when kids get separated and people get put into cages and shit like that. It's terrible. Blah. It is not the same fucking thing as purposely rounding up people simply to murder them because you hate them for some stupid reason.
Well, so this is the tweet that Gina tweeted, right? And then this is people. You literally could have picked a better picture to show whatever you wanted to show that didn't have fucking Nazis on it. And so it's people. And this is when she called out the trolls, but she's literally showing stand up to evil. That's what this picture is, which this guy did because I believe his wife was Jewish, and then they both end up dying. You know, they both got killed by the Nazis. She's saying, even if you might lose your life, stand up to evil. That was what this post was, and they're calling her out and complaining. And this is a Pedro Pascal fan. Obviously, it's like the Maxwell Lord, and it's a fake account. And then them spamming her, and saying no one is bullying you, even though we're gonna spam the shit out of you.
As we bully you, we're gonna tell you no one's bullying you. No one's bullying you, you pathetic fucking loser who I hate and want to die. Oh really? Wow. Do you not fucking? People just don't effing get it. It's really.
Well, so they were making memes of her. I don't know. I don't get this meme, but again, I'm not 12 years old. So, and that's the thing with these people. They didn't understand the concept of this. Also, guys, I get canceled on Twitter like every fucking week. I have to deal with these people a lot. They're not smart. They're not smart at all. They're all children who mommy and daddy pay for their internet bill and pay for their phone bill. So they get to spend over 12 hours on Twitter every single day organizing and going after people. That's why you see all of these different Stan accounts posting the exact same identical tweets over and over again because they're all children. They're all in some kind of Discord, in some kind of, I would say Facebook group, but that's for old people now, in some kind of Discord, in some kind of Slack, and they all coordinate together and they go after people and they don't see anything wrong with this. And they obviously aren't educated. I guarantee you they didn't understand the context of this picture at all based on the way that they reacted to it. They're all a bunch of kids.
They never understand the context.
But Disney bows to this. Disney fires Gina Carano saying it was offensive to people and people calling her anti-Semitic, even though she's literally the exact opposite. And it's like, you think if Gina was anti-Semitic, if somebody like Ben Shapiro, who is an Orthodox Jew, would have hired her? No, absolutely not.
But his opinions don't matter because he's one of the bad ones who thinks the wrong things. And it's like, what the fuck? Who do you get to say? Like, how do you get to decide that? Why do you think that that's?
It's just a complete. Exactly, they decide that for her, and so even. This, in my experience, screaming at someone that they are a racist when they are indeed not a racist, and any post and or research you do will show those exact facts, then I'm sorry, these people are not educators. They are cowards and bullies. She literally called them out and she posted like, here, trolls with, I like this. Oh, but make sure you keep checking it from all your other 12 fake accounts, cowards. I love that she did that. And then you can go see them calling her Cara Dune would literally hate her, fucking racist, piss, baby, ignorant. Like, we did a whole stream where we were reading these out. It just blows my mind how insane these people are and telling her to shut the fuck up. And she literally called them out and they did exactly what she called them out for. The irony is there, but then it's okay. Let's Kathleen Kennedy, let's go fire Gina. Let's go and we'll turn off the likes to dislike ratio. Bitch, by the way, I believe my video is, I will go make it live now up on my secondary channel. I just asked if you are going to use it, please just say, I got this from Anna, that Star Wars girl, because I spent 40 fucking minutes of my life going and doing screen captures for this. So please, RIP my memory on my computer. Just credit, please, and thank you. That's all I ask. You can use it at your leisure. Just say, hey, I got this from Anna, that Star Wars girl. Let me go make this live over on my secondary channel. If you guys want to use this, feel free. I'm all about sharing. That's why I did this. Just please credit. Let's do this. Let me go make it live right now. And I will post the link in the chat. So we'll just go public. Done. And it is public. Let me get the link. Save. There we go. So here is the link to the video. So again, they turned off the comments on this video. I did a screen recording until it stopped loading of getting all of this in there. So if you guys want to go see the comments on there, the link is in the chat. I will and then edit it into the description of this video, but go check it out. And I even said, I gave a little disclaimer and whatnot in here, but go check it out. Go share it. I'll go post it right now on my Twitter because I did post the screenshots that I took. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's the hypocrisy, the irony, all of it. It's been bothering me, like all of this, the way the world's been going with this absolution, this one way to think, this one way to be, this comfort all of a sudden, it happened, politically, oh, it's okay to cancel someone for being left or right or this or that, and for exposing those opinions in whatever public forum that you expose them and whatnot. And now it's like, it's gone beyond that to the place where it's people are feeling so comfortable just out in the open, publicly being this hateful towards each other. It's really like, that's what it is. It's, there's a narrative coming from these people at the top of the industry that's coming out basically saying that if you're a Republican, you're evil, the end. And feeling very comfortable putting that out there, saying you're not welcome here, you're not welcome in our ideology, you're not welcome in our whatever. When you control all of the mainstream media, all of the mainstream creative media that gets to you in this fucking country, and we are only going to allow one single ideology. We'll make it we'll very publicly let you know your ideology is not welcome. Your type of people are not welcome. If you are this type of person, you are not welcome here. And I don't want to live in any world that tells any person that they are barred from doing things that they are very, very capable of doing because of their identity or their ideology.
Well, I mean, even if you look back in time, and I don't like talking about politics, but if you don't go look back in time, if you want to say all people on this side of the fence are evil and all people on this side of the fence are good, it's like, okay, well, so how did this side of the fence that you hate so much, where did they came from? Oh yeah, they came around because of the ending of slavery. Guess what? Pedro Pascal compared being a Republican and a Trump supporter to being a Confederate. They were literally the opposite. Abraham Lincoln was the first Republican president.
That's true.
You know?
Like those things
that is one of the most stupidest comments. And I don't like politics at all. I don't like associating with any of it. But all you got to do is look in a fucking history book. Go do your fucking research and you'll see how ridiculous this is. And so for Gina, which, I mean, just from her posts, she honestly seems more like a libertarian than a Republican.
I agree. That's my suspicion too.
Yes, guys, I know I'm going to get to Super Chats, but we're in the middle of a conversation here. And again, guys, if you guys want to go check out the video where I did the screen recording, you can go check it out. The link, I did post it. I will post it again. I just posted it on Twitter, actually. So there we go. Here it is if you guys want to go see and go look at all the comments that were there before it was deleted and the like to dislike ratio. But, I mean, everything about this has just been this hypocritical jumblefuck disaster.
Yeah, you said it. It's I don't know where this. It's really tragic for the people involved because it's like they really were in a good place. Star Wars was in the best place it had been since The Last Jedi after season 2 of The Mandalorian, and this. It's like people were even weathering through the High Republic shit. That news had sort of come and gone, and people were kind of over it and realized how unimportant it is, and would have been perfectly excited for Mandalorian. I was really looking forward to Mandalorian season 3 being chock full of Carl Weathers and Gina Carano, and that dynamic of the three of them together. You really sucked the wind out of the sails of that show, especially, steeping it in this controversy. Like, Luke was a big uniting moment for a lot of people. Even though I have certain feelings about it, I acknowledge that it really brought people together in a way that nothing else in the Disney Star Wars era has. And to so completely and absolutely tank all of the good that did immediately afterwards, based on some, and here's the thing. There's the public narrative, and then there's the truth, which is the truth is really that because of the nature of the last tweet she wrote, the thing she got canceled for, the nature of that statement, it was easy to twist it to make it sound anti-Semitic, and it was therefore going to be very easy. Basically, put it this way. If you want to have a job in the industry, do not talk about Jews unless you're Jewish. It's like, and the thing is, it's not conspiratorial or shit like that. The thing is go look at who runs the major agencies. Gersh, one of the biggest agencies, Eric Gersh is Jewish. I think most of the agents at UTA and CAA, most people who run those agencies are Jewish. Most of the major agencies are that. A lot of people at the production companies are Jewish. When you want to have a job with people, you probably shouldn't piss off the boss. Go to work for a company that is run by Indian people. You should probably not make a lot of social media posts comparing things in your life or other things to, I don't know, things that have gone on in Indian history. Because no matter what, that's one of the things. It's just like, that's one of those things that, like, it's sad and it sucks. But, like, if I were friends with her and I knew she was going to put something like that out, I'd been like, bro, not that one that way. Figure out how to say exactly what you want to say in some other way that's just as powerful. Make a comparison to something else, some other atrocity that's similar, because you can, but just don't do that, because it's just that. It's like, if you know who your bosses are, you're not going to get anywhere by trying. Then it becomes a virtue sign. It's like, you're not going to get anywhere virtue signaling to them, and you're certainly what you're going to do is run the risk of pissing them off. So
I will be right back if you want to get deeper into this because I have to pee, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it. So the thing is, it's one of those things where it is 100,000, and that's why it's like in the context of, because I hear a lot of people trying to justify it in that context. Well, she said somebody pissed off her employers and they fired her. In that context, that's fine, and that's again why it's such a shitty situation because it's like, shit, there was no way for her to wiggle out of that one. There's never going to be, because of that. You know, it was that simple. It was like I 100% support everybody's right to do and say whatever the fuck they want to say, but the whole thing is like there is a point at which you can just have to make decisions as to what, you know, as to what's important to you. And I'm 100% fine and consider with everything Gina Carano has done because of the way she's conducted herself in the wake of this, you know, she lost this job. She went out to make another something. And that's great. So she made the executive decision that integrity is critical. And to her. And so she was willing to sacrifice everything on that altar. That's fine. Like I said, I think there's a way forward to make the point that she was making without using language that you kind of should know is going to push buttons. It's not about like, oh, censors over this or that. It's like, okay, you can run around the world and never censor yourself at all whatsoever. Or you can think about the fact that certain things you say are going to push certain people's buttons more or less than others. I think this is just a situation of her not being in the loop enough to really realize what buttons were getting pushed in what ways, pushed the wrong ones. And what I was kind of saying while you were gone is that in a vacuum, you had a lot of people saying, well, you know, she said some things that pissed off her employers who were Jewish. They have every right to fire over that. That I don't disagree with. But you cannot take this in a vacuum because it's not that.
That's ironic considering Pedro Pascal is doing it.
Exactly. Because that's the whole point. In a vacuum.
Pedro Pascal compared the kids in cages thing to the Nazi the Jews that were taken by Nazis and put in concentration camps. So I think that's where she made the mistake, is that, okay, so when you're dealing with these people, and I get canceled on Twitter like every fucking week. So I deal with these people a lot. You can't stoop to their level as much as you want to, as much as it might grind you and get underneath your skin. You can't do it. You have to be careful. That's why I don't say certain words on Twitter, because I know they'll be able to flag me. They can call me a cunt. They can call me a Nazi, which they do. I sent the screenshots to Jessi. This one weirdo, they've been calling me a Nazi for the past 6 days because they didn't like I did a She-Hulk thing and that I'm defending Gina. They're allowed to call me a Nazi bitch. And guess what? Twitter says that there's nothing wrong with that. If I were to say it back, I would get flagged. And I'm not going to call somebody a Nazi because that's insane. And unless you are literally a Nazi, I'm not going to call you that. I've been to a concentration camp. I've seen the shit that they've done. It's a completely different. When you understand the context of what a Nazi actually is, you would never dare say that to somebody. Yeah. You know, and it doesn't matter about censorship. It's a matter of right and wrong. And they don't understand that because they're uneducated children. Right. But so when you're fighting these people, you have to be smarter than them. You have to be able to outsmart them. And that's the thing is people say, how can you do this, Anna? It's like, it's funny at this point. They're fucking stupid. And I'm just exposing their own stupidity and their own ignorance. It does become amusing after a while. And I mean, I'm talking to you and I'm like, this person is a fucking idiot. Dude, and I just did my Ryan Johnson laugh with that. But sometimes it's funny rubbing in the face of a fucking stupid person how stupid they are, you know? Favorite. But Gina saw that Pedro wasn't good. I'm assuming this is what happened. I'm assuming she saw that Pedro is comparing people to Nazi Germany. And so when she saw that, what I guarantee you what happened was, because Gina, I follow her on all social media. She shares a lot of stuff. I think what happened was she saw something that she liked. She's like, okay, this makes a good point about people being censored based on their political opinions. And she shared it not knowing the context behind it. Like I shared a post on Instagram because it had this inspirational comment, but I didn't know who the picture, because it's like a picture of a person and then it's like an inspirational quote. I didn't know that the person in the picture was Tony Soprano, which apparently is a character from a TV show. I had no idea who it was because I've never seen the TV show. And people are like, that's a really bad comparison, that comment with that. And I'm like, well, I don't know who the fuck that person is. So how am I supposed to know that? I think that was the same thing with Gina. She saw something that she liked. She shared it because of the comment or the social narrative that it was making. And people lost their minds over it. But then again, since she saw I think she also thought, well, that's pretty hypocritical of them to do something to me and not to Pedro because he said something that was even worse.
Oh, it is. That's something I learned long ago, though. That's something I learned from refereeing is that when it comes to stuff like this, when it comes to individuals trying to get ahead in individual careers, the rules apply differently to everybody. I got put on a year's probation for quietly and resignedly asking a coach to please take his hangover somewhere else when he would not stop screaming at me on the strip. But he decided to take that and make a big stink about it and file an ethics complaint and make up a bunch of lies and all this shit. And my organization hates me, and so uses any basically the way it works for me is anytime anything happens, I get the book thrown at me. I'm going to be held to the nth degree of the rule. Meanwhile, my friend can go and practically start fist fights, swearing at other coaches and telling them you ain't shit, you're not your daddy, and rags about it to literally everyone who will listen, including some of the people on the panel who voted in favor of my probation. But yeah, no, it's totally fine, and he can do that. Meanwhile, I need a year probation for not conducting myself in a way so as to earn respect from everybody at all times, which is apparently part of the fucking referee handbook. So,
well, it's just, I mean, it just shows how hypocritical the world is when, and there's a difference between, you know, a country's politics and business politics and work politics. There's a whole political structure to working in Hollywood. You have to know the right people. You have to say the right thing. I mean, why do you think Harvey Weinstein was able to get away with it for so long? Because you couldn't touch him. It was a political move in Hollywood when they finally did Me Too him, because all of a sudden it was okay to Me Too people. And now they're on this whole hype about, you know, the SJW is taking over. But before that, people that knew, like Kathleen Kennedy, knew Harvey Weinstein. People like Kathleen Kennedy's or the woman that Kathleen Kennedy hired, who was Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant. They knew what was going on and nobody said anything. All of these women coming out, Selma Hayek talking about what it was like when she was going to be in Frida, you know? They all knew. Everyone knew. Everyone that thanked him knew. And you go back and you watch all these Oscar speeches, which is actually kind of a hobby of mine. I like to watch inspirational talks and stuff when I'm feeling down or when I need to feel motivated because it inspires me to do better. The other night, I went down a rabbit hole of watching Oscar-winning speeches. And it didn't matter who they were, what Oscar they were winning. I like to hear, you know, what people say when they're given that moment. And it's funny how many people are thanking Harvey Weinstein. You know, and it's a political move in Hollywood because you want to make the movies, you want the connections, you want to be rich and famous, right? So you got to please, you got to kiss the right ass. When I was getting canceled for doing the paint over of the I'm Not Starfire, which they don't respect characters at all, but the entire art community, people that I know, people that I have worked with, people that, you know who I am and have known me for a long time and have been waiting to, you know, stick their claws into me because they don't like what I'm doing. They all were, you know, coming after me. Remember, that's how we met AK Rex, because certain somebody was being a hypocritical douchebag.
Cunt in the hat.
So they were all saying you're never going to be able to work in the industry again, and I'm over here like, I'm already working in the industry, bitch. I actually just got nominated for an art award. For those of you that don't know, I can't really talk about it because it's professional, but I mean. You know, it's one of those things that it's like, you can't cancel me. Like Gina said, you can't cancel me if we don't, or you can't cancel us if we don't let them. It's true. They can as much as they want. I forgot about who half those people were until they came into my comment section and they tried to cancel me because guess what? I did something that they didn't like and that they didn't approve of. So how dare a woman have an opinion that they don't want? Just like for Gina. How dare she post something, even though Pedro Pascal is posting the exact same thing, but on the opposite side of the spectrum. It's okay. But even though women forces female, #YesQueen, Kathleen Kennedy put that in motion, right? She's the one wearing the forced female t-shirt. But the second a woman does something she doesn't like, out.
Bye-bye. Gone, bitch. No second chances.
No, and it's just like with you, with that whole thing. It's like, okay, yeah, believe all women. Yes, women are the embodiment of all perfection. You can't question a woman unless we don't like the woman. Then
exactly.
It's bye-bye, bitch.
And then done, and then over, and then canceled. And it's so beyond fucked up. And you're right. I mean, exactly. I think what you said is exactly right. Gina did what she did, seeing the way Pedro Pascal's was received, and figures, okay, this is shit that's fair game. And finds out the rules don't apply equally, and finds out also that when you have a target on your back like that, you know, it's almost impossible. The sad thing is it's almost impossible not to at some point stumble. Like everyone does. We're human, and as soon as you do, they will be there to tear you apart. And it fucking blows. But again, like I said, I can't be prouder of how she handled that. I actually wanted to cite an example that came up over the course of the show that I've been talking about, the Rookie, that one that's went woke this season.
Yes.
We had a course correction on this Sunday's episode.
Oh, really?
It snapped. It felt like nothing. It felt like we snapped right back to where it was. And it was really interesting because one of the things I had read about the show, which I actually respected a great deal. So the two big changes into this season from before, the three big changes from before were all of a sudden the white training officer suddenly had to apologize for his whiteness every fucking episode. Nathan Fillion had to apologize for his whiteness every episode and be constantly taught by his black TO why everything he did was wrong and all that stuff. And then the black rookie got paired with a racist cop. A racist training officer. And of all of the woke plot points, that was the only one, even in spite of it being the most on the nose, it was the only one that really tracked with the way the show was written, where you're like, okay, I mean, it's about time to have a sort of, and the thing is, they wrote a good character. They didn't make him just on the nose, I hate all minorities. They made him wrapped up in justifications of, you know, the way we used to do it, and other people making excuses for him on the force of, oh, he comes from an older mentality. They look at things a certain way, and building all that up until, he shows his card and everyone realizes the problem that he is, but they can't get rid of him because he has his friends. And so the way they resolve it is that his rookie has decided to basically stay with him as the training officer to try to get him exposed for what he is, so they can remove him from the force. And so he's basically put his career on the line to try to double cross his training officer. And the officer kind of realizes this. So then he pulled the rookie pulls this my daddy's, you know, in internal affairs card to back the training officer into a corner, knowing what's going to happen next, which is training officer takes him out to a really dangerous part of the neighborhood and sets him up to get the crap beaten out of him by a bunch of, you know, ne'er-do-wells, and you know, leaves him to get the shit beaten out of him. Meanwhile, this was all part of the rookie's plan, because at the end, when his backup arrives and now, his training officer wants to rush in and pretend that he's all friendly, they have a great fucking gotcha moment where they turn on his camera, which then they've already established in the show captures 2 minutes, you know, prior, and it captures everything that, you know, just happened of him seeing the situation that the rookie was in, backing off, and it was their great little gotcha moment. And I was like, this, for being very on the nose, this tracked so well. And I think it all comes from why that even got written into the show in the first place, which was that this actor who plays this rookie, the black rookie, came to production, came to the showrunners in the off season after all the things that happened last year, and said, as a black man, I cannot in good conscience be on a show about cops that doesn't address racism in the police force. And he said that, so his bringing that to them was to say, I'm totally fine if you need to kill off my character, write him off the show, or whatever you want to do, you know, because of that. He came to them with the intention of, I have to leave this show for my conscience. You know, I have nothing. I respect that 1000%. You're not going around demanding somebody change or bend or do something for you. You're going to, you know, it's no different than Gina Carano speaking her mind, knowing it can cost her job. You have your own morality and your own integrity, and you're going to stand on that line. And so that's reflected in the show because of the character's willingness to risk his own life and to put himself in the hospital. And that wraps up with him having a moment with his captain, basically saying it was 100% worth it and he'd do it again. You know, if this is what it takes to fix the problem and to make change, then it's worth it. And that message, I will watch a show about social justice all day long if that is the message. If I watch people sacrifice and put their lives on the line, their livelihoods on the line, in the name of what they believe is right, and put themselves in harm's way to make the change they believe in, that's fine. I will watch those stories all day, every day, because that's someone's true story. That's someone's real beliefs that they're out there fighting for. Whether or not I agree with what it is they're fighting for, it's a story about someone with real conviction who wants to get real things done. I have time of day for that. Whether or not I'm interested in the story, I have time of day for that. I don't have time for the same story if it's just telling everybody else how they need to change and be better and fix the problem. It was so refreshing because all previous season episodes were like that, where the black TO telling Nathan Fillion why he's wrong in this and needs to apologize for being white, and this other guy apologizing for being white, even though they've never done anything the fuck wrong. We've watched their characters build up to be these heroes consistently. It's not about telling us why white people are all wrong. When the show got its legs back underneath it is when it decided to show us how another type of person feels about this and what they are willing to do to tell their story and to make the changes that they want to make. That's a different way to tell that story. You can tell.
That's what we've been talking about since the beginning. It's like, okay, if you want to tell a story about this and you want to use these tools, it's like, okay, so George Lucas told the hero's journey, but he used aspects of the real life world. He used Nazis. He used World War II. He used the evil empire that was an allegory for fascism. Mm-hmm. He used all of that. The emperor is racist. If you read the expanded universe novels, it goes into this, but how Grand Admiral Thrawn, he was the only alien that was that rank that ever was able to raise in the ranks. If you look at the Empire, they're all human because guess what? Emperor Palpatine was a fucking racist. And you can even look at that. Aliens, when you're on Coruscant, yes, there's ones of the representatives of the Senate that are from different planets. But if you look at it, the core planets are all mainly human. And as you go out further and further, look at on Tatooine, there was more aliens than humans. It was an allegory for that. Isn't that funny how when you actually know your history and you're actually smart and you use this thing called a brain, how you can do these things and you can tell those real world issues in that? Look at Animal Farm. Guess what? That's about communism, but it's with fucking animals. You can tell these stories about these things and use these, like in Star Trek. They had a whole episode about racism. He's black on the white side and I'm white on the right side. He's inferior to me. And how it destroyed an entire planet. Star Trek is known for that. Heck, me and Peaches have been rewatching DS9, and there was just the episode with Jadzia Dax, and how in her past life, because she's a Trill, she's got a symbiote, and the symbiote has past lives before her, how she runs into her former wife from a past life, and they're both, now in these new hosts. And so there is, there's a lesbian scene in Star Trek. It happened way before Alex Kurtzman got his grimy little paws onto Star Trek. And heck, there's been non-binary characters in Star Trek since the fucking 60s. So give me a break. Star Trek has been doing it since the very beginning. That was Gene Roddenberry. It's none of these new people. It was actual smart, intelligent people that knew how to take these real social justice issues and make them entertaining and do storytelling with them. Isn't that amazing how that's existed for a really long time, Jessi? Really long time. And that's actually, I wanted to say, The Rookie was the show I was talking about. Someone was asking. Yes. And the cool thing is when you go outside of the bubble, those stories are still being made and still being told. This is one of the really neat things is Richard is on the panel for the international submissions for the Academy this year. And so he's been telling me about some of these movies that are coming in from around the world. And he's talking about all of the stories are these stories of others, of people whose stories don't usually get told. And they're these incredible, rich, deep, meaningful, human, well-written, well-structured stories that are being presented in these gritty and realistic ways that are just not happening, so it's not even a matter that those movies aren't being made. It's that they're not what are being marketed to us, whether that's the problem of the American audience not consuming that, or whether the problem is the industry not trusting us to consume it. And I'm really not sure which one it is, because the reality is when it comes to the, general movie-going audiences, people as intellectual about it as you and I are heavily in the minority. That was actually, Richard even talked about that. I'm sure it'll end up in one of the interviews at one point where he said that one of the reasons he got out of industry movie making is because audiences got dumber and he got sick of trying to make movies for them. Well, that's the whole thing is people. Even, I guess I've played that clip enough times, but Mark Hamill, where he talks about how it doesn't matter if a movie is good, like a movie making money doesn't mean it's good, and how he talks about Transformers and how they're never going to stop making Transformers movies because they make so much money, but it's not, it's not cinematic gold, you know.
No, it's nothing great or quality. It puts money in the bank. And it was weird. I think there's a little flying out of what movies can be. Like every movie needs to be a fucking blockbuster and Oscar winner. And there's no room anymore to accept that not every fucking movie needs to have been intellectually vetted for moral, cleanliness, and sterilized of any sense of humanity, removed from it. So it's all the sameness and passes the fucking death. No, it's fine to have movies that are gritty comedies that aren't for everyone and offend a lot of people and that are going to make way back on their return because they were really low budget to make but appeal heavily to their niche audience. And that's awesome. And there are movies that are going to cost $100 million or more or 3 times that much and look really pretty and cool and make a huge return on their investment because everyone wants to watch Godzilla kill, King Kong and vice versa. And it doesn't fucking matter what the quality is there. And then
everyone's yelling to take the picture down.
And then you can have, Cormac McCarthy's The Road adaptation, which is an incredibly low budget film, with very minimalistic stats. And most of your budget goes into getting Viggo Mortensen in this film. And it's a heady actors movie about the relationship between a father and son and very human and very this and very Oscar baity and all that. And all of those things can exist separately. Not every fucking movie needs to be The Revenant. And shit like that.
I hated that movie. I passionately hated that fucking movie.
Bad. It was just torture porn. It was like a more legitimized version of the Passion of the Christ without the religious themes.
Well, even that, I was so mad when I watched that because it's like, oh my God. And then Leo won the Oscar. I'm like, he did a much better job than The Wolf of Wall Street. I think he should have won the Oscar for Wolf of Wall Street, but because of Dallas Buyer Club coming out the same year, I get it. But that was a much better performance than all he did was crawl. I can do that. I can look like I'm in pain and go.
I think his performance is better in fucking Titanic. I think he could do an Oscar for Gladiator. I thought he was, he could have been in the conversation for Gangs of New York. The thing is, I was so conflicted when he won because I was like, I understand that in the eyes of the Academy, he is not winning an Oscar for The Revenant. He really is winning.
He did a great job in Django.
Oh my God, Django! What a fuck! So I get it. It was one of those Oscars that really felt like he's winning it for his body of work.
Yes, exactly. I don't think that was the best performance.
Not at all, and I don't think most people will think it. So I love hate when it's like Heath Ledger. I'm so glad he got an Oscar for the Joker because he was obviously never going to get another one. But Heath Ledger's Oscar-winning performance is Brokeback Mountain, and the Academy just wasn't ready for that movie at that time. That performance is beautiful. That movie is beautiful, and you don't have to be, to give a shit about gay people to like it. It's just a beautifully made movie, a beautifully acted movie, and he deserved the fucking Academy Award for that one. So I'm glad he has one to his name, but it's it's not for the right one, the right film, in my opinion.
You're welcome, everyone, for taking Kathleen Kennedy off the screen. Please smash the like button. I will be getting to super chats in a moment. There was one other thing that I wanted to talk about. What were you talking about before we got?
Wow, before we got sidetracked with.
I remember. So yes, the witch herself is coming back on the screen. But so we're gonna check something, because that's not the thing I was gonna talk about. Okay, so this. So remember. Okay, so this. Oh fuck! I can't refresh this one. Okay, let me find it. Let me stop screen sharing real fast. Let me find it because I had it up. I think it was this one. Okay, let's share again. Sorry. I apologize, everyone. Okay.
I've actually been napping right here for like half of this.
So this is the one that they took, they took the likes and dislikes off. So let's go back to the Oscars homepage, and everyone said to follow up the comments that were over here. So it's on this one that all of the comments and dislikes moved over to. So there are still comments and dislikes on here, and it has gone up since we started talking. So now it's just everyone saying fire Kathleen Kennedy. How does Kathleen Kennedy still have a job? I like this. You're going to turn off the comments and voting here too. I like that, which is probably exactly what they're going to do.
I'm sure they will.
So everyone, make sure if you like to archive things, go archive this. My video with the archives of the other comments on the other video that is now turned off are up on my secondary channel, That Star Wars Girl Live. Check that out after this live stream is over.
And by
holy shit.
So by later tonight, I'm sure there'll be a zillion articles out there about how the evil racist internet trolls went after a strong woman for being a strong woman because we're so misogynistic. And then they'll all take those articles down and write new ones about why aren't the women getting the award, women of color, huh? And they'll name like 3 random nobody women working in industry. Why didn't you give them an award too, huh? I don't know, maybe because they didn't do 20 years worth of work in innovation and didn't actually innovate anything. I don't know, maybe that.
Yep.
Oh, they were born of color, so they deserve an award. Well, I was born of a vaguely pinkish color, so I deserve an award too.
This is the whitest I've ever been in my life. Thank you, San Francisco, for not having sun and removing my tan.
You'll never
also, now, guys, I have to wear my granny glasses because I'm going to read some super chats. I know I've been getting screamed at. Usually, me and Jessi like to keep our show at about 2 hours, so we're gonna it's going a little bit over. But thank you so much, everyone, for being here and smashing the like button. I will be reading super chats now, and we will be doing commentary based on what comes up there. Let's see. So let me get to the ones that I have not read yet. Okay, here we go. So Matt Giles, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Anna. What's the chances of you knocking out some offensive/funny artwork to piss off Disney? Okay, so here's the thing. When it comes to the art, so I do redraw, or I shouldn't even say redraws because I don't redraw them. I do paint overs. So this is something that the weirdos on Twitter lose their ever living shit over, which it's like, you obviously don't work in the industry. And then people that work in the industry that lied about it because like, this is so disrespectful. You don't do this. I'm like, you've never worked with an art director. Because what happens? I mean, me and Jeff were just doing this because me and Jeff, Jessi's boyfriend from World Class Bullshitters, were collaborating on something. So Jeff had his image that he had sketched out, and then we had a little Skype call, and then I had it in Photoshop, and I said, okay, but what about this, this, and this? And then I moved it. Jeff didn't get offended and cried because I moved it, and we worked together to make something the best product that it could possibly be. We work together like adults, like professional people that are doing a business venture together.
It's not like you were sitting there, painting over someone's work and then trying to pass it off as your own. You were painting over someone's work to make a commentary on the work, which seems to be the primary reason, based on everything that I've learned from you, the primary reason why one would do a paint over. So it seems that this was the appropriate time to do a paint over. It's a different thing if you're like, look, I painted this over here, isn't it so much better? It's, look, I painted this over to show you how you could create, a gothic looking chick that still is pretty, or a She-Hulk who isn't built like a man. Just want to show you that using the same basic format that you're using here, you can make this look so much different.
Well, this is exactly what you do when you're actually working in a professional environment. Is let's say I'm the artist. I'm not the creative director. So I do my thing. I get a job and it says, draw this character. Here are what the things that you have to have. Okay. So these are the guidelines for the character that you're supposed to draw, which guess what? That's what happens. And so you draw it, you turn it into the art director. Guess what? They're going to do a paint over. They're going to say, fix this, fix this, fix this. And they send it back to you and then you fix it. That's exactly how it works. That's what, if you work anywhere in the industry and the people that are screaming, that's not what it's like. Then it's like, all right, well then somehow you have some fucking boss that doesn't care about, that doesn't have any standards of any kind. And I mean, everyone that said, oh, I'm a professional and this is, unless you're an amazing artist and you get it right on the first time, which rarely ever happens. When it's concept art, it's a little bit different because you're doing concept art, right? And then somebody picks it. So usually when you have concept art, it's like, okay, so one of the ladies was the concept artist for Doctor Strange. Okay, so you have this many different variations of Doctor Strange's cape. An art director or a costume designer will look at it and they say, I like this one, and I like this and this one, this and this one, this and this one. And they'll circle things that they like, right? And then they send it back to the artist. Can you make it with all the things that I circled? And then they come out with a different. That is when usually when paint overs don't happen, when it's already that far along in the process. So when it's earlier on in the process and you're designing a character, or when you're turning something in, it's just one single image. An art director will, because I have had this done to me so many times. It happens when you're in art school too. So everyone that said no is a fucking liar. They go and they'll say, here, fix this, fix this, fix this. They turn it back into you. It's not a personal. You don't take this shit personal. And they teach you that from day one. All of these weirdos lose their mind and take it personally and start reading about it. So The only time I do paint overs is when I see an image come into my timeline and it's like, what the fuck is that? And I'll say, hey, guess what? And this is the thing. People think that it is like, this is the best I can do. I'm like, no, I'm not getting paid. Here's the bare minimum paint over I'm going to do to get the point across better than you can. Which they lose their mind over. And they're like, this art sucks. I'm like, well, I wasn't trying to be good. I got the point across better than you with my shitty artwork.
Just trying to demonstrate a point. Exactly. You're not trying to produce a finished piece. You're just trying to prove a fucking point.
Exactly. If I was getting paid for it, that'd be a different story.
Yeah.
So until something comes across, I'm not wasting my time because I'm not getting paid for it. Charlie Spur, thank you for the super chat. That's it. Someone take away Anna's internet access. She is a deviant. Oh yeah, that was for the video that we played in the beginning of the stream. Valiant Renegade, thank you for the super chat. Who the hell is that guy? Discount Dennis Miller wannabe? I don't know who Dennis Miller is. That was the guy in the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, I figured that's what we were talking about.
I don't know who Dennis Miller is, but yeah.
I feel like I should.
I still don't know who the fuck that guy was that was trying to be funny. He's calling me an autistic weirdo that needs the internet taken away.
Right? What the fuck?
Matt Giles, thank you for the super chat. Who is this oxygen thief? We still don't know. Charlie Spur, thank you for the super chat. Q Anna is appointed by God to save us from KK. Oh, please don't make comparisons to me and QAnon. Thank you. Reality check numero uno. Thank you for the super chat. I'm guessing that Disney only casted Emma Stone for the role of Cruella because Kathleen Kennedy was unavailable. Hashtag the Matriarchy. Hashtag the sport the fandom is. Hashtag fade in. I don't know why they're doing origin stories of villains and trying to make villains sympathetic. It's like, it's a villain for a reason.
If they're a good villain, there should be something, like, you should understand their motivation in the story. You don't need an origin. The thing is, good villains, like Killmonger is not an origin story, you know. In Black Panther, he has a good origin, though. He has a solid origin.
Well, they keep trying to make them nice people. Like, the thing with Maleficent being a victim of it was an allegory for rape. It's like,
everyone's a victim, and so it's like, it's all it is. It's let's justify shitty behavior by writing a fucking victim story. The whole thing is victimhood doesn't absolve you of your shitty actions later in life. It doesn't matter. By that token, I mean, the whole reason, by one of the accounts, the whole reason Hitler wanted to go kill 6 million Jews is because, I don't know, like he felt, rejected by them. He felt like they were succeeding where he was failing, and so he wanted.
He didn't get into art school.
so because of that rejection, because of that horrible rejection he felt, I guess he was totally justified fucking slaughtering 11 million people in cold blood. Not to mention however many casualties of World War II. Yeah, no, he was totally justified in that.
He was an insane person. And so I remember somebody was giving me shit because they're like, oh, Anna, the college you went to, it's open enrollment, right? Because the person that created the college believed that if you wanted to be an artist, you should give the chance. Also, there's a very low graduation rate because guess what? It's fucking hard. It's a really hard school, and they tell you that from the very beginning, that this is not something that's easy. Kitty cat. It's not something, and it only has a 33% graduation rate. That's because people honestly don't know what it's like, and so when you are not sleeping for weeks on end, like I did, and you start off with however many people getting in, because yes, it's open enrollment, everyone should be able to be an artist, but it's so demanding of you, and it's so time consuming that a lot of people can't do it. That's why the graduation rate is not very high, and people don't understand that. But one of the reasons why, it's like, hey, do you know how different the world would be if somebody would have let little Adolf into fucking art school? The Holocaust probably wouldn't have fucking happened, but he wasn't allowed to paint pictures, so he decided to go and commit genocide against an entire race of people. So yeah, why am I even talking about that? Oh, because of the Cruella de Vil and Emma Stone. Yeah, I don't like the whole let's make origin stories of villains, but then let's completely fuck up their origin. Like Maleficent isn't even scary anymore. It's that movie was absolute shit. It made King Stefan the bad guy as compared to just a loving father. And it's like, oh yeah, Maleficent's more of the mom to her. No, Maleficent was a fucking bitch because guess what? She didn't get invited to a party. She's a petty, evil bitch. Exactly. That was great. That was one of the greatest things about her. I'm like, this bitch literally wanted to kill a princess and destroy a kingdom all because she wasn't invited to a fucking party.
Exactly. Because the thing is, like, sympathetic villains can be great,
but
fucking psychos can be so much just as fun, if not better.
Why do you think people are so obsessed with serial killers? I mean, if you go and look at a documentary on Jeffrey Dahmer's life and how just if maybe his parents paid a little bit more, I don't want to blame his parents because it's not their fault that their son was insane. But if people would have paid a little bit more attention, like the fact that he was a complete alcoholic when he was in high school, if somebody would have paid a little bit more attention, I mean, even Ed Gein, if you go look at serial killers and the shit that happened, I mean, there's all of these, what are they called? Red flags that could have popped up that you could have caught and maybe prevented things, you know? Let me check this right now.
1,000,001 warning signs. No, 100%. And that's like, there's some of that though, like that full on, I mean, like American Psycho, people fucking love that movie.
I hate that movie. I fucking hate it.
Thank God. I don't hate it, but I'm not nearly as enamored with it as everybody else is.
Well, it gave away the plot. So there's some movies where it's like, yeah, okay, you know the plot at the beginning. Like, you know, the Titanic. Well, what the fuck is going to happen? You know, I wonder what's going to happen in that damn movie at the end. Yeah. But there's still things that surprise you in it. Whereas in American Psycho, I'm like, I'm not even entertained because this is stupid.
Well, I think that's where I felt after watching. I don't like, I do think it's a movie that you lose out on a lot once you kind of know where it's headed. Unlike Fight Club for me, where I do get a lot of value on the rewatch. And sometimes I'll rewatch it even now and catch stuff I didn't catch before. See, where I know that's a movie you don't particularly care for, but even so, it's intentionally designed to have value on the rewatch.
I love it. No spoiler, guys.
I love you.
Don't worry, I won't spoil it for you.
But like Fight Club, like it's designed to give you extra little things to catch on the rewatch, you know? And the story's designed. The thing is, the crux of the story and the thesis of the story doesn't hinge around this guy's mental whateverness. Like the thesis is all about the story that's being told around that. That's sort of the gimmick. Something like American Psycho, the gimmick really is, you know, this guy is this, oh, you're watching this movie about this psycho killer guy, and the whole thing is just bullshit in his head. And I hate watching because this movie is just a movie about a loser. This entire fucking movie about a loser who can't do anything. So he creates a fucking fantasy world where he actually does things and is still too much of a fucking loser to actually do those things. Like, so I've enjoyed it more the more times I've gone back and watched it because I appreciate a lot of the cinematic structure of it. Mm-hmm. But it's never been that's never been a favorite of mine. It's never been like, and I don't understand. I don't understand why it's some people's. Like,
I just thought it was boring. Like I'm watching this, and even at the end when the plot twist comes out, which it's all in his head. Still, even watching, I'm like, you're not even good at this. You're not even good at being a bad guy. You're just a really pathetic bad guy. The most entertaining part of American Psycho for me was him talking about his skincare routine, and I'm like, oh, your skin looks really good in this movie. You know? Yeah, that's me being a nerdy girl, but that's
the stuff I like about that movie. I like the presentation, the acting, the writing, the pacing, all that stuff. So I like a lot of things cinematically about it. Story and character are not two of them. Let's leave it that way. So I can actually sit down and enjoy watching American Psycho for those other reasons, but story and character, not my favorites. But Psycho, I mean, just the movie Psycho, to take it back even further, you know, literally.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There's a sympathetic villain. He is a psychopath. And he had a lot of issues, and he, you know, was a schizophrenic.
But it also doesn't stop him. It's like it doesn't stop him from, you know, getting taken down at the end. Thanos is an incredibly sympathetic villain, but we are rooting against him, theoretically, unless you're me.
Well, I mean, so my favorite movie outside of, yes, I have to say this because like, Anna's not a real Star Wars fan because her favorite movie isn't a Star Wars movie. Like, no, my favorite movie is a real Star Wars movie, but I've been around so many normies that they say, Anna, Star Wars doesn't count, so pick a normie movie. So I'm like, all right, Silence of the Lambs and Donnie Darko are, you know, two of my favorite movies. Guess what? Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter, Buffalo Bill, two villains, right? You got a Clarice Starling who is up against a pure sociopath and a psychopath in one movie. Mm-hmm. You know, you can do movies where it's like, okay, yeah, it's because Hannibal Lecter is her only ally in that movie, really. It's like, okay, you kind of start to sympathize with him and it's like, whoa, but this guy's evil, but he's on the protagonist side. So it's a very strange dynamic, but I love it because it makes you think. Going back to the, audience are stupid now. They really are. But we spent a lot of time on the super chat, so let me read more because I have a lot. ID Crisis, thank you for the super chat. Here, Jessi, take your rant money. Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you. That was for the very first one of the night.
Nerdy Girl Crates, thank you for the super chat. Nerd bullying never went away. The bullies now hide behind an agenda and pretend to be fans to attack the OG. Extremely true. Actually, there's let me find it. It was sent in a group chat. Let me go find the tweet. It's pretty ironic how spot on this is, Jessi. You're gonna laugh when I show this to you. Give me a second to find it. But it's basically a Trojan horse. And how it's, you have, for everyone that knows the story behind the Trojan horse, when was this sent? Okay, I went too far back in this damn group chat. Oh my gosh. But so, the story of Troy and how it got infiltrated by the Trojan horse because the Greeks just hid themselves. So here is, am I sharing my screen? I am not. Here we go. So here's this meme. Niche fandom, more fans. Let's bring you SJWs, censorship elitists, sex pests. Let's bring this into this fandom. That's exactly what it is. This meme is so spot on. It hurts.
It's so fucking. It's so
true.
Fucking
this is exactly what happened.
It's really it's sad, and it's like you're just doing is you bullied me when I was in school, and now you're following me into the real world to bully me some more because you are so it really feels like that. I don't know if you've had this experience. I've had a lot of these experiences where it's like people for some reason decide to dislike you, and there's something about you that rubs them the wrong way, whatever reflection to them it is, where they're so passionately hateful of you. They fucking follow you around to fucking try to make your life miserable. They're obsessed with trying to make your life miserable. It feels like this, where it's like people, you just could not get over the fact that you probably sat through high school in your stuffy shirts and your stuffy clothes, trying to fucking fit in, feeling miserable every second because you couldn't do or say what you thought without being rejected, envious the entire fucking time of the kids you were bullying, having a great fucking time getting stoked for the next Star Wars movie, the next this movie, playing with their toys, not giving a good goddamn what you thought. And you could never the fuck get over the fact that we were actually happier than you were in high school. And so you tormented us then, but you still haven't found your happiness. So you got to come torment us now. It was sad when you did it then. It is sad when y'all are doing it now. It doesn't make it any less sad that you have giant Twitter followings or establishments behind you or people backing it up. You are still the same sad, scared, pathetic cowards who cannot stand up for what you believe in and are too afraid to speak your mind, who have to bully and silence everyone else who does, mostly because you're just jealous. You didn't fucking think to say it first. And that is not my problem. And it is not my business to wake up every day and deal with your bullshit because you don't wake up and look in the fucking mirror.
Yep. And that's really what it is, though. And it just blows my mind that it just doesn't stop. And the fact that there are so many stupid people out there that don't realize it. Because I got on the I get called an incel all the time. I get called a man and an incel, and I'm like, okay, I look at my thing and I'm like, I had sex like a few hours ago. What about you? And I ask people that every time they call me an incel. I'm like, I got laid, a few hours ago. What about you? Let's see who the real incel is, Let's see who the real incel is. I got told a lot of time, go outside and touch grass. So I went outside and I touched the grass and I flipped him off. And I'm like, by the way, honey, this isn't my mommy and daddy's lawn. This is my lawn.
Yeah, I have a house. How about you?
Yeah.
I love that shit because
I pay my own bills, by the way. How about you?
Maybe you should go get laid and see if because I think that would help. Most of the people who want to
well, just like the guy that was calling me a femcel, and I looked at his picture and I spit out my drink because I'm like, oh my god. And then the dude that Googled my ass to use against me to say I'm ugly. I'm like, let's see your picture, guy behind an alt account with a character's drawing.
Let's see what you look like.
But let's keep going down this road.
I'll bet you your ass is prettier than his face. So
there you go. Soul Fiend, thank you for the super chat. As Arch said in his video about this, I don't know who Arch is. For any of this to even be an issue, they have to self-relate themselves to being the Yahtzees in the analogy. Ooh, good point. NC Enigma Bandit, Russell Hall, thank you for the super chat. Meh. Different day, new pile of shit. Exactly. Russell, thank you for another super chat. In other news, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Read of Healer really took a dark turn this episode. How much what the fuck can they cram into one show? I haven't watched it yet. Don't spoil it. Agmard, thank you for the super chat. Anna, take off your socks. Put them in your muff. No, thank you for the super chat. BC Eagled, thank you for the super chat. Just wanted to support the channel. Anna, hang in there. Well, thank you. Anal Rees, thank you for the super chat. SJWs and hate addicts don't learn history. Very true. Most of the arguments and aggression would stop. Love you both. Great info. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thea_Loki, thank you for the little puppy waving at us. Thank you. Weefy117, thank you for the super chat. They don't want strong, independent people. They want weak people who depend on the corporation for power. That's extremely true. Strength
comes to a warning real quick. DJ Close is here. I just want you to know DJ Close is a raging alcoholic. We learned this in the Mindless Mob last night, and it's just canon now. DJ Close is always ragingly, violently drunk all of the time. So just look out for him. What's up, DJ Close? Good to see you here, man.
Let's see. Strength comes from herself, so she had to go. That's why the lip service to SJWs. SJWs are weak, so corporations like them. Very true. Which is sad. Anyone that's why Kathleen Kennedy won't hire a woman, because she wants subservient men. If you look at all of the women that Kathleen Kennedy hires, it's subservient men.
Simpy men, and then women who she either already has sway over or aren't anything, will not, don't challenge.
Over their careers.
That's the same thing with the men too. It's everyone she works with is either someone she's already connected with, she's in her little club with together, or someone who she has 100% authority and control over. Favreau was the absolute exception, and I think it was because it was at a time, too, where The Mandalorian was supposed to be this nothing side project. All the focus was supposed to be on the main trilogy, so it was totally cool. Of course, you have to bring somebody more competent in to do that, because you knew you were giving him the more reins, and that was the only time. And now that's turned kind of back on its head, because you have to keep following that thread, because you're one fucking competent person putting out Star Wars properties that test well with your audience happens to be the one person who you can't control. So congratulations.
Russell, thank you for the super chat. Is it kind of funny picturing Kathleen Kennedy set up the football over and over only to pull it away as Ryan Johnson runs to kick it? He never learns. Yeah, Ryan Johnson's a fucking idiot. Yeah. The Duxon 1977, thank you for the super chat, even though you did not say anything. Alan Rees, thank you for the super chat. Why are Harry Potter's actors turning gay? I'm confused. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight. Make love, not war.
Who's the actors turning gay or the characters?
Maybe the characters. Yeah. Macy Van Dusen, thank you for the super chat. Howdy, God Empress, and that Star Wars Battle Angel. Oh, well, thank you. Hello.
That's nice.
Jacko, fuck, I have no idea how. Peter Hunsel, thank you for the super chat, even if I probably butchered your last name. Thanks for your enthusiasm, passion, and energy. Love it. You rock. Love from Denmark. Oh, well, thank you. Hello. The country that my great grandmother was from. Cool. Shum, thank you for the super chat. If that one person can get a book out of meeting Adam Driver like that, I can't wait to see Anna's gallery showing of Henry Cavill. Oh my goodness. Oh, somebody tweeted, and I love it when people that have never seen my Twitter see me thirsting over Henry Cavill, because somebody posted and they said, oh, HBO Max just needs to have a show where it's just Henry Cavill building different types of PCs. And I was like, oh, sweet Jesus, my body is ready. Oh, and somebody that so many people are seeing that tweet and they retweet, they're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, you don't even know. You don't even know. So somebody blocked me because I retweeted thirsting over their Henry Cavill tweet, and they blocked me. Because I'm like, you don't even know. You don't even know my thirst for Henry is real.
That's hilarious. I know it. It's real. So you don't gotta tell me twice. I got a fucking front row seat for it. So I think I developed a Henry Cavill crush by proxy. Someone I saw was good looking. I think now I'm conditioned to respond more positively to Henry Cavill than I was before because of you. So now it's before it was Henry Cavill. Now it's Henry Cavill. Ooh. But that's
I'm hopeful that everyone that sees Henry Cavill, they immediately think of me in comparison because of my thirst for him.
Well, then what's going to happen is we're going to be inadvertently sending all of these vibes of you in his direction, and then when you guys meet, it'll just be like sparks.
I don't think I would be able to meet him. I would faint. Could you imagine? I am such a dork and a nerd that I wouldn't even know what to say. I would just be like, I would be that awkward person that you see in a movie, and I would just freeze. I guarantee you, I would faint. I would.
The only celebrities I've done that to were Jackie Kashian, who's like a whatever, female stand-up comic out here who I just happened to really, really love and saw her special like way, way back before I ever thought I was going to be a stand-up comedian. And then Alan Tudyk, and you were there for that one. So
you were so gushing and you're so nerdy. And I'm just like, here's this picture I drew of you.
I was like, way cooler. Fucking 10 years ago when I met another Firefly cast member, I was way cooler. I asked him to sign my tits.
Did he do it?
No, he said he doesn't sign skin, but he did start off that conversation by saying hello, gorgeous. And then I paid for the picture session, which was later. So when I saw him again, he immediately saw me and went, "Oh, hey, gorgeous."
Oh,
Adam Baldwin.
Can you tell us or no?
What was that?
Who was it?
It was Adam Baldwin. So it was he's pretty hunky, so yes, I have a picture with him, and I like I said, handled that way cooler. That was my very first time meeting a celebrity ever. And it was after that moment too, where I was like, well, if Adam Baldwin called me gorgeous, that was the first thing he said to me. I probably can't think of myself as unattractive anymore unless somebody says otherwise. So thank you, Adam Baldwin, for helping me get over my self-esteem issues about my appearance.
We'll see. I mean, people say this all the time, but I mean, any guy that I've been attracted to has never been attracted to me back. So I don't even try. That's why I was so shocked when I found Peaches was into me, because we were friends for years and I didn't think he actually liked me. I didn't think he was into me at all. And then when I found out he was, I'm like, really? Like, that's the first guy that I've been like extremely attracted to that's liked me back. Any other guy that I've been attracted to has never been interested. So it's like, a real ego crusher. So my ego when it comes to attractiveness is like way down until I met Peaches. I'm like, oh my God, finally a guy that I think is super hot is actually into me. Yes, finally.
A lot of it for me was finding a guy that was less about the looks, but finding a guy that was like cool and fun to hang out with and tough, who also was into me. Usually when I find guys like that, they want to be my friend. They're like, oh, you're too big, man. You're too broy for me. You can't. Yeah. So now I have my bro.
That's the same thing with Peaches. I'm like, okay, he thinks I'm beautiful, but he also is like he's really handsome and he's really cool and he's really fun to hang out with, and he'll watch Star Trek and Star Wars with me, and he can deal with my insanity, but also, he's a great person too. So I'm like, wow, finally. That's why when you meet the right person, right? But I mean, Henry Cavill is a guy that can have any woman he wants. There's no way he's even going to look at me. So, I mean, I like to look at him from a distance. That's why I say it's like never meet your heroes, which, I mean, when he's literally Superman, I'm like, yeah, I think it's better that I don't meet him because I don't want my soul to be crushed. I'm pretty happy with the way my life is right now.
Yep.
But let me get back to these super chats, or else we're going to be here all night. Yeti Cast, thank you for the super chat. Kathleen Kennedy sounds like she's giving a eulogy for someone she just likes. It really does.
It does. It really. So our dearly beloved, we are gathered here today because this person died. This person that I didn't know. So it sounds like she's like this, that giving that impersonal eulogy. Oh, this person was beloved by many and will be terribly missed by people who have names, I'm sure. I don't know them, but they have them. Thank you. And in conclusion, I would like everybody to tell their stories unless those people are named Gina Carano or I have a problem with them in another way. Thank you and good night.
Mm-hmm. Lord Bahamut, thank you for the super chat. Anna's next OC should be named, What's like OC? What is that? I don't know what this means.
Other channel? I don't know.
Oh, well, there you go. Thank you for the super chat. Russell Hall, thank you for the super chat. Kennedy would never put a capable woman into a position where she might excel because she might overshadow her coffee making talents. Ooh.
I really think
that was cold, but so true.
I mean, she's never been a creative, and she's clearly always wanted to be by the amount that she stuck her nose into the creative process since helming Lucasfilm, and it's probably always gotten, probably eats at her when she finds people who are better at storytelling and shit than she is. So she's probably got to find people who will roll over for her and tell her that all of her ideas are great, and we'll just fucking make them happen without questioning.
Yep. So. Soulfiend, thank you for the super chat. Can we get on with the video so you can get that face off the screen already? Tongue out. Yeah, we did. Don't worry about it. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. MI05, thank you for the super chat. It wouldn't matter. The women would be the same. Well, but here's the thing. This is why it does matter, because she virtue signals about women being important and we need to help women. But she's the president of Lucasfilm. She has appointed every single director of all of the movies. She has all of the power to put women in power, and she doesn't. That's the ironic part of this.
You don't get to, and the thing is, she doesn't have a responsibility to do that, but you don't get to have your cake and eat it too. You don't get to push this narrative, wear your forces female shirt, talk incessantly about how important it is to have strong women in Hollywood and strong women in the writers' room and strong women directors and strong women here, and then absolutely adamantly refuse at every opportunity to put a strong woman in a directorial position. It's does not, like, that's the whole thing. It's this, everyone wants to just keep going, and every time you call them out, they go, no, do as I say, not as I do. And they just want to act like that's fine, you know? Like, it's this weird opposite day world we're living in, where we were all raised, you know, to lead by example. I used to gotcha my dad all the time. He hated that when I got to be a snotty teenager, and he would tell me to do something, and I would go, what about the time you did this, Dad? Lead by example. But that's the truth. Example is always be more powerful than your words, no matter what you say.
No, the force is Henry. Oh, I bet it is. I bet it is.
It is for you, clearly. That's the force that moves you. But at the end of the day, actions speak louder than words. We all know that. So put it into practice, Kathleen, or shut the fuck up.
What about Patty Jenkins? Yeah, well, that was my point. The first female director that she hired was Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant. And I guarantee you, Patty Jenkins was brought in by a Bob Iger. I guarantee you.
I mean, it's possible, but it's also like, again, what is it?
No, I'll be right back.
It's possible, but it's also possible that it's you know, too little too late scenario. Oh, finally it's time. Okay, finally, she does Wonder Woman, and maybe it's, who knows? I mean, who knows what kind of relationship Kathleen Kennedy has with Patty Jenkins? Maybe they're maybe she's someone she gets along with. Maybe they sat down to have a meeting about it, and it turns out their vision is 1-to-1. It wouldn't surprise me necessarily. So I'm not necessarily going to put it above Kathleen Kennedy as being the person who brought Patty Jenkins on, but the reality is she is not the first person to bring a female director onto Star Wars. For a feature film, yes, because that's where her power lies. But Favreau, who had the power to choose the directors for his individual episodes, and Bryce Dallas Howard is one of them, and Deborah Cho's another, and they are both women. You don't have to like that, or you can, or you cannot. You don't have to like the episodes, but you know, as we already went over, two women with and certainly they of Bryce Dallas Howard with power and reputation. I
have his Instagram full of. I don't see anything in Star Wars, but
does Cecil really have COVID? By the way, or are people just saying that?
He don't know. Cecil does have COVID.
Is he okay?
I know he survived.
Okay, damn it.
No, he's complaining because he couldn't go on a skiing trip. And so they almost did. So he called the place he was supposed to go skiing, his hotel, and said, hey, I can't come because I have COVID. And they weren't going to refund him. So he's like, all right, I'll come then. He's like, all right, you guys aren't going to refund me for the room. So I guess I'll come and sightsee. Like, wait, no, you can't do that. He's like, well, you're charging me for the room.
Like,
and then the owner called him back. I was like, no, we'll refund you.
Yeah, no shit, you fucking will. What an idiot.
So there's nothing on Henry's Instagram, and I knew this because I watch it like a hawk, not stalkerish in any way, shape, or form. I'm just
stop getting Hannah's hopes up, guys. That's not
I know, but I don't. There's nothing on here of Star Wars. There's fan art of him and Sir Patrick Stewart because they talk together, and so there's that. But there is none of Henry in Star Wars related. And sorry, I'm getting distracted. I need to stop staring at this. All right. Stop distracting me, everyone. I got to read these super chats, which I appreciate, by the way, from everyone that sent them. Charlie Spur, thank you for the super chat. Jessi, tell us about the Jewish space lasers. Laughing face.
Well, they clearly exist, and I have access to all of them. So you all better sub to me and follow everything I do and like it, or I will use them on your house.
There's a picture of Henry and a turtle.
I control the space lasers. The end. Yes, it is true. They are mine.
Yes. Darth Snow, thank you for the super chat. Hey, how's it going? It's going good.
I can't complain myself.
I have drank a lot of caffeine, and it gets to the point where if I drink too much caffeine and I don't have food in my stomach, I start shaking. I'm at that point where I'm like, Trying
You
not to-
wouldn't care because it's water, but Bubbly, which is like one of our favorite brands of sparkling water, now has a caffeinated version. So so they have caffeinated water in fun flavors like berry and mango passion fruit. So chuck a little Mio in that and you'll be good to go.
Billy the Kid Lawrence, thank you for the super chat. Intent matters, and Gina's was good. Very true.
I agree completely. And I think that's, when you trace the messages, the intention is very clear in what she says, which I think it's very disingenuous to try to force her into this, oh, you're a conservative talking about this kind of box, because it's not the box. That's not what she's talking about.
Hey, shush. Cavill should not go anywhere near Star Wars. Here's the thing. I love Henry. I love him so much. He plays these characters that he likes that are not a good representation of the actual character themselves, but there are action figures made, and I want the action figures because here's the thing. Nothing is as powerful as my imagination. Even if it is a shitty version of The Witcher or a shitty version of Superman, those hot toy figures are. So my uterus is so ready for Henry to be a Jedi with a lightsaber. And yes, I will buy that lightsaber and all the merch that goes with it because it's Henry. So shush. My body is ready. Thank you. That's all I wanted to say. Weefy117, thank you for the super chat. The image Pedro Pascal shared wasn't even from America. I said that as well. It was the Middle East, so he spread false information on top of politics.
Oh, great. So you probably repost
irony at its best, right?
Some sensationalized bullshit from somewhere else. And this is the thing, is it's like when AOC got called out for lying about shit. Oh, well, the intention's there. No, it doesn't matter because y'all are the ones.
Oh, yeah, when she said, oh my gosh, I was fearful for my life from across town.
Right? Like, oh, weren't you? Wow. You weren't.
MI05, thank you for the super chat. There is way more backlash now, and it's growing. I'm assuming for that video from Kathleen Kennedy. How ironic.
Yep.
Mr. Tickle Trunk, thank you for the super chat. Jesse's refocus to nuance is always great. Understanding is a third-edged sword. Voltron proverb. Babylon 5. Your side, their side, and the truth. Heart, Jesse.
Oh, thank you so much. Babylon 5 is a great show and it's got a lot of great. It really tries to follow a lot of the Star Trek model of digging into those human stories and showing the human sides of all of it. I think that's one of the things I like about it. I gotta go back and finish the series too, actually.
David R., thank you for the super chat. Enjoying the live stream. Oh, well, thank you very much. Please smash the like button. And if you are not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, ring the bell for notifications, and subscribe to Jessie's channel, which is Mindless Entertainment. The link is in the description of this video. My mods are amazing and have been linking it in the chat, so thank you. The Teos, thank you for the super chat. They shouldn't even say that, and they shouldn't even say that so-and-so is a Nazi in the first place. I agree. Arab Zadie, thank you for the super chat, even though you didn't say anything. And then thank you for another super chat where you did say something. Lucasfilm is a cult. Pains me to say it because still has George Lucas's name in there. They kept his name. Wish they had his work ethics too. I wish they had just a scrap of intelligence.
Yeah, right.
You know, just a tiny bit.
It does not take that much. It really, there was no reason for this to go off the rails. All the fucking track was there. Just follow it. Take you right into the station.
It doesn't take rocket science. You can pick a random Star Wars fan and say, give me your first idea and do a better series based on that, you know? The Teos, thank you for the super chat. Glad that things are getting good for Gina. All support to her. I agree. Everyone, go show Gina your support. She sees it. Go tag her on Twitter and on Instagram and show her some love. AK Rex, thank you for the super chat. When we win this war, we will all we will win this war. We get all the flack, a lot more than those who go out of their way to please the tribe. At worst, we suffer temporary setbacks, but we will be the ones saying checkmate. I agree with you. And what's up, dude? Now, I've gotten to the end of the super chats, but I'm going to update it because I've seen
more since then. Yeah.
So thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. Fucking A. Well, thank you. I appreciate this. Macy Van Dusen, thank you for the super chat. Love the hairdo, Anna. Oh, well, thank you. I was trying it out. I haven't crimped my hair in a while because some people were like, oh, it looks ugly. But I got my hair done recently. I added in, for those of you that don't know, everyone thinks I'm really young. I am young, but I've had this like white streak in my hair since I was 19. And I'm tired of dyeing my hair black all the time and then letting it fade to brown. So I decided, hey, let me just go get like this. It's called a balayage. So they put lighter color in, and so that way when I do have white streaks, it kind of fades in.
Nice.
So I tried something different. They chopped off my hair though. They chopped off 5 inches of my hair, and it's been depressing.
I still think it looks really good.
Well, thank you. But yeah, so I did something different. So thank you for noticing. And this is my first time doing my hair like this with this color, and I actually like it. I feel like I fit in Huntington Beach now. Ha! It's like I just need a surfboard.
Yeah.
My wave. Mr. Another, thank you for the super chat. Patrick Bateman and Thanos are heroes, not villains, if you ask me. Oh my.
Oh, somebody said the Instagram post was from December 28th, and it's near the beginning, by the way, the Henry Cavill.
Near the beginning?
Yes.
No, it's not.
That's what they said.
Near the beginning of his time on Instagram?
They said December 28th. I don't know.
What year?
I have no idea.
No, the picture from December 29th is him in a workout shirt. Okay. December 29th, 2020. He's in the Muscle Tech shirt. I really should know that off the top of my head. 2015.
Here we go.
Here we go.
God. Okay.
Oh, this is so good.
Way back. This is hilarious.
I guarantee you I've probably seen this picture already.
Probably.
Oh, there's one picture where he's lifting up his shirt and showing his scars. And I'm like, I don't know if you know this, Jessi, but when men have scars, I'm like, hello, because that means you're strong and you're a survivor. Just like, this is a weird thing with me. I love tattoos because here's the thing. Women are attracted to tattoos because it shows that men can take pain. And also they're committed. They're down for commitment because men that have tattoos committed to that being on their body for the rest of the time.
Either like that, or they get drunk and make bad decisions.
That's a little bit of a different story. But when men have like full sleeves that are planned out, it's like, oh, hello. I like it. I am a little bit biased there, though.
I have 2 cousins who actually have really cool sleeves. You'd love them.
Okay, what year am I on now? 2017.
Keep us scrolling.
I know. Oh my God. And I'm looking at pictures I haven't seen in a while, and it's like, hello. I love the pictures of his dog, and I love that he loves his dog so much.
I love that too. I always love when people love their pets.
Some interview chick asked him, it's like, oh, why'd you name your dog Cal? And it's like, are you fucking stupid? Cal-El. That's why his dog's name is Cal.
Did you watch any of the movies that he's been in? Because it's like pretty fucking obvious.
Just
slightly important character that went by that name.
Okay, I'm in 2017. 2015.
December 28th, 2015.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. All you had to say was the one with him and the lightsaber. I've seen this. I scrolled all the way back to this one where he's saying, may the force be with you. And it's not December 28th, it's December 18th.
Well, there you go. How dare you, chat? How dare you do this?
I saw this years ago. This is what everyone tags me in on Twitter. But here's the problem with it. Yeah, can he just be shirtless all the time? Like, he's wearing a cape. You can't see his face. You can see his nice chin dimple, though, which I like. Peaches has a widow's peak and a chin dimple, and he looks a lot like Superman anyways, but he's extra hairy. Like, here's the thing. Henry Cavill, he's hairy, but he's not hairy enough for me. Like, Peaches, it's like, hello.
Jeff has this like perfect triangle of hair just right here that makes him look really manly and like pops out of the shirt, and then it's just like nice and smooth. Anna,
watch the Tudors. I did. Yeah. He was naked in the first episode, which I appreciated. But here's the thing: he's not muscular in that movie.
You are, without a doubt, the most persnickety person I've ever met.
What does that even mean, persnickety?
It means incredibly particular.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm very much.
It's like to a degree is like you are. The phrase "splitting hairs" was invented about your tastes. It's really amazing because it's like the thing is it's so absolute with you what your tastes are, but it's on these very razor thin lines, and if it just deviates a little bit, it's like that switch just goes off. It's really like it's fascinating to just hear you talk about your likes and dislikes sometimes, because I've never met anyone else who has that relationship with their interests the way that you do. It's so
Okay, well,
funny.
so here's the thing. I like men, and there's an age when men get into their prime.
Yes.
And when a man is in his prime, they're just so attractive to me. And Henry recently entered his prime. And here's the thing. Yes, clutch your fucking pearls. Men are completely useless before the age of 30. I'm sorry. It's true. In my opinion and in my experience, it's fucking true. Even when I was younger, men are useless before the age of 30. Now, there are some men that enter their prime before 30. And when they're in their prime, it's like the most, it's like fucking love potion to me. And I'm just like, oh, hello. And so Henry, because I mean, one of my favorite movies is The Count of Monte Cristo, and Henry is in it. And yes, he's cute, but he's a little kid. I mean, yes, okay, he was technically an adult in that movie, even though he's playing a teenager. But it didn't do it for me because he wasn't in his prime. Henry has entered the prime of his life, and men usually it's between the age of 30 and 45 is when they're in their prime. And during that time in a man's life, they are just like, bees to fucking honey for me. And I'm like, hello. Now,
Cecil's rubbing off on you.
Huh?
Cecil's rubbing off on you. You just went hello.
I know, right? Yeah, I know. That's what happens when you become friends with someone. You pick up their habits. But so, and because I've always been like, yeah, Henry's a nice, he's a nice piece of meat. But then when he did the PC building, because I mean, yeah, I've always thought, oh yeah, when he started getting buff for Superman, I'm like, hello, Superman. But then I realized, oh my God, he's a fucking nerd. And yes, there's been signs that he was a nerd before, but it was really like watching him build that PC. It was like a tick went off in my mind. And I'm like, my uterus just fucking exploded. Yeah, I watched The Witcher already. Yeah, he's hot as fucking hell. But something about my body was just like, please impregnate me now. And it's just, holy fucking shit. This dude is perfect. I mean, aside from the blue eyes. Like, that is just a really off to me. Like, but there's context. There's context that can fix that, right? So, but honestly, it shows that he's not perfect, which is great, because when a guy is perfect, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But he's got blue eyes, so it's like, all right, that's a big turn off for me in general. I like dark eyes. I know. This is.
I just love that it's not just it can't just be that blue eyes are a turn off for me. It's that he's not perfect. Having blue eyes is a flaw. It is a deep character flaw that shows that he is not perfect. For me, I feel vaguely discriminated against by proxy for the color.
But you're a woman, so I'm not attracted to you anyway, so it doesn't matter. See, I like the men. Like, for me, before, the most perfect man was Antonio Banderas, because he was sexy. He had that sexy accent. He was Zorro, and he was dark, and he was hairy, and he had this. I like dark guys because it's so mysterious, and it's like I can stare into their eyes for days, and it's just like getting lost in them. Whereas blue eyes, I'm like, I can tell when you're lying. I can see when your eyes dilate. I don't like that. Stay away from me. But Henry is like, he's in his prime right now, and I'm going to enjoy it. He's gonna turn. His birthday is May 5th, and he's gonna turn 38 years old this year. So he's got a few more years until he reaches the age of no longer being prime. And I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to lust after it because it's healthy for women to have fantasies. But at the end of the day, I still got Peaches, who is reality there. Anyways, I've dug myself a big enough hole as it is. Peaches, I love you. Even if you're watching me, please don't hate me. Which he won't. He thinks it's funny. But anyways, let me get back to super chats. Boobs sweat leads to pearl neck. Thank you for the super chat. First time watching. Good show. Just subbed. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
A very interesting name. I have no idea how to say this next name, so I'm going to butcher it, so I apologize. Ryu Kai Kayuku. Thank you for the super chat. Just sit mad with their pile of crusty socks. Oh, they just sit mad with their pile of crusty socks.
Damn straight. What an image.
Ikeen, thank you for the super chat. Learning history won't help. SJWs just post moderate nihilistic. Okay, so I want everyone to see why I don't really wear glasses. So I have a hole in my eye where you see there's a little hole. I don't know. I was born without a tear duct in that eye. I have one in this eye. You see? One? None. I had surgery when I was a kid, but so water squirts out of my eyes when I'm wearing glasses. You can see the little spots, right?
Yeah.
The water droplets. Those little dots.
I can see.
If I talk or if I laugh, it squirts my glasses. Very annoying.
So weird. So weird.
ID Crisis, thank you for the super chat. Anna's booty will unite us. Trademark. No. Macy Van Dusen, thank you for the super chat. Jessi, please pet your kitties for me.
Oh, well, I've been doing it all stream, Macy. I'll give you, if you're still here, I'll give you a little James line in my hand, and she pancakes right there behind him. So
kitty cats are cuddling. Are there some brothers?
Yeah, there's a brothers. He was so little, and now he's so big. He's the big.
I know, they were just little.
His brother's still one of the littlest, but he's growing now too.
They're kitty cats.
Little babies. But yeah, Shebanging only looks small right now because Jane is a monster. Jane needs to lose some weight.
Takes after their daddy.
Big like Papa.
Legends of the Brave Bard, thank you for the super chat. Say awesome, Anna. Well, thank you. Charlie Spur, thank you for the super chat. No one I've been attracted to has liked me back either. 25 years old and still lonely as ever. Broken heart. Oh, I'm sorry.
You know what? Keep up hope, because I never found any guy that was remotely right for me, and then Jeff happened, and I've been dated guys before and stuff like that, but finding Jeff was just something else. So they're out there. Just, keep your chin up.
Same for me and Peaches. Russell Hall, thank you for the super chat. Anna, when you finally score that passionate line alone with Henry Cavill after Peaceful? No, Peaceful is not happening. He's going to confess his most twisted kink. Would you rather he likes getting pegged or giving enemas? Oh, Jessi doesn't know this is a Jack show thing. Honestly, so here's the thing, guys. I can go from drooling over Henry Cavill to finding one thing that is just the deal breaker. If Henry was to tell me, hey, I want to keep your toe in my pocket, it's like, get the fuck away from me. If he said either of those things, it's like the instant boner kill. I'm just, no. And yeah. It's one of the, it's blown my mind that hasn't happened with Peaches yet, because I'm so picky, and it's like, it just takes one simple thing for me to be unbelievably attracted to someone to just being like, stay away from me and never talk to me again.
So now your chat's going to go out and try to find that one thing about Henry Cavill that's going to ruin him for you, right?
I know. Which honestly, at this point it does, because this attraction to him is getting kind of out of hand.
There you go. Someone's got to go do the right thing and ruin Henry Cavill for Anna.
But
So
please,
Anna,
it's like I'm enjoying it, but I kind of want it to be ruined, but I kind of don't want it to be,
The thing is, you can't lie to her about it to do it, because Anna is like practically professional level of private investigating. So
yeah,
you're gonna fucking find out if you make shit up. So you got to find out the real shit and ruin Henry Cavill for Anna before she just devolves into a mess of bubbling uterus.
Dairy Nitpicker, thank you for the super chat. And I control the diamond mines. Mwahaha.
Yeah. Oh, together. So he has I have the space lasers. He has the diamond mines. Right.
There you go. Vids the editor, thank you for the super chat. Woke culture wants to cancel various historical figures for being racist. They even vandalized and toppled Ulysses S. Grant statues. I know, which he fought against it. It's so
the guy. They should probably go and cancel Hamilton, because I'm pretty sure he was racist. So.
Wouldn't that be funny?
I'm convinced. Like, of course he was. He lived at a time when literally everybody was. He also was a philanderer, so like he's not exactly the most morally bang up guy ever. But apparently he's a fucking hero. Guarantee he was fucking racist in some form or another. Also, like, why are we immortalizing? And oh yeah, we're supposed to cancel everyone for all of their shit from back in the day. Well, he cheated on his wife a whole fucking bunch. So shouldn't we cancel him for that? Fuck you, Alexander Hamilton. Nope, they sing about it in the goddamn musical.
Deary Nitpicker, thank you for 2 super chats in a row. Anna, you're actually the first first member of the fandom menace I started following. Saw your Last Jedi review and totally agreed and felt so lost after the movie. Oh, well, thank you. That's exciting to hear. I'm glad I found the fandom menace and I'm not alone in this crazy world. And hello, ladies. I love being able to see Jeff behind Jessi. Haha.
Jeff.
It is entertaining, isn't it?
Jeff and his deep window thoughts.
I know. He's like deep. I see his headphones in though. Jet Spark. Excuse me, I'm getting hiccups. 373. Thank you for super chat. Henry Cavill should be Darth Bane and hack and hack Anna, you should petition to be Githany, so you have a chance to poison kiss your schoolgirl crush. Your schoolgirl crush. So Jessi doesn't know who those characters are. I don't think so. Darth Bane, he's the creator of the Rule of Two for the Sith, and so it's a series that takes place from the point of view of the villain, which is Darth Bane. And so before that, there was like hundreds of Sith and hundreds of Jedi, and there was like this school to teach people how to use the dark side of the Force. And then there's this character called Githany, who she kind of manipulates him because Bane is strong and he's learning, but he's like the strength, but he's going back and reading. Even though he's physically strong, he's going back and learning all of this stuff about the Force. And yeah, he's into her because she's beautiful and like she's Sith, but then he does decide to kill her at the end, but because she's there, because he's like, oh no, yeah, I have to be a purist, because he's also a psychopath, by the way, which most Sith are, usually. So he ends up killing like all of the Sith because he believes that, there can only be two, a master and an apprentice. And so she goes to like kill him because she's the only one that can get close to him because everyone knows that he's into her, and she like kisses him. And it's poison, and he knows that it's going to be poison, but he knows how to use the Force to fight off poisons and stuff like that. So there's that, and she uses a whip as her weapon, a lightsaber whip.
That's not kinky at all.
Yeah, but I don't think they ever do the deed. But I'm not an actress, but I will volunteer to make up. It would be nice to get paid for it too, but I mean, I'll volunteer. I don't need to play a character in a damn movie.
She'll just be there to keep his lips fresh, and then
maybe he needs practice. Not that he does need practice, because he has a lot of on-screen kisses and sexy times.
You're there to keep him supple. You're there to make out with him in between the scenes to keep his lips looking fresh and his face looking flushed and shit. So when he comes on set, he's ready to go. That's what it is.
Well, no. So I said if I was to ever be a character in a movie, I could totally be Maxima, even though I'd need a lot of CGI to make me look big and strong. But so I don't know if you're familiar with this character. For those that aren't, I'll tell you a little bit about it. But so I learned about this character because I like to watch the Superman animated series just along with the Batman animated series. But in the Superman animated series, there's this character called Maxima. And she's also in the comics, by the way. She's actually one of the characters that's in the Death of Superman comics. And she's fighting Doomsday, but then they say, oh, well, you can fly, so you need to go fly these people to help, because she was fighting Doomsday before Superman. Superman was in the middle of an interview. I know this is a complete tangent, but then before he found out about Doomsday and goes and fights him. So Maxima is from this planet of elite people, and she needs to find somebody to breed with her. So she goes to Earth and she finds Superman, and she wants him to be basically her baby daddy to produce the most dominant and most powerful offspring. So she's basically chasing Maxima, Maxima is chasing around Superman, trying to get him to breed with her. And I'm like, that's me.
Yep, that is that one.
I'm like, I will play her because that is spot on, and that would not be acting, except for pretending to be big and strong.
You wouldn't need any coaching. Just be like, all right, your impetus of your characters, you're doing anything you get to take to get with this guy. All right, done, cool, motivation, solid. Let's go.
I know. I'm like, I wouldn't even have to. I'm not an actress, so I don't think I would be good at it. But I could do that. I could chase I could wear a costume and chase Henry Cavill around a set, trying to convince him to sleep with me.
The secret is that's all acting is, just finding the truth in the lie. So if you go on set and play something that's just very natural for you, it's still acting. It's just very good acting. It's just the only role.
I'll wear a fucking wig. I just said they're gonna need CGI to make me look big and strong. I'll put on a costume and I'll wear a wig and I'll run around Henry Cavill. Okay, here we go. Dairy Nitpicker, thank you, Mr. Jet. P.S. Jessi, I'll be sending you the memo for the world domination. Just got new orders from headquarters.
Oh, well, that's good to know. It's good we all stay on the same page with the world domination plans.
Ruben Wilson, thank you for the super chat. Hey, what's up? We are talking, and I'm almost at the end of my super chats, unless I refresh and there's still more. Which, by the way, thank you. I do appreciate it. YouTube has been like, fuck you, Anna. Last month was great for me. This month, they're like, hey, we're going to suppress your channel again. So I was like, fuck, I was growing and things were going good. And then it's like, hey, fuck you. So thank you. I do appreciate it. Battleheim63, thank you for the super chat. Anna, you are channeling Heidi Lamar. Oh, thank you. I think it's because I didn't do my eyebrows today. Maybe that's it. She said men are most virile and attractive between the ages of 35 and 55. Look up the whole code. Ooh. There's something about that. My mom told me that, and I didn't believe her. And then I grew up, and I was like, "Yeah, Mom, actually, you're right."
Moms
This
know.
wa-
Moms do know shit sometimes.
I know. Well, I even told Peaches when I look at pictures of him when he's younger, and I'm just like, "You're such a baby," you know, like you're a baby. And it's funny because he didn't get like body hair because he's covered in hair, right? His chest is like so furry. That was actually the first thing I thought when I saw him, because yes, when I met Peaches, he was shirtless, and I was like, "Holy shit, that guy's hairier than my dad," which is almost impossible. And because I met Peaches, well, I met him when he was 26, but I was like, damn, that dude's hairy. When I look at his pictures, like before he turned 20, I'm like, baby, where's all your hair? It's gone. Where is it? You're old baby.
Jeff has looked functionally the same for a decade. Like he also was full grown. I don't know, when he was like 12 or some shit like that. So, Jeff's baby pictures. There's the cutest one ever that his mom has of Jeff on a little pony. And it was so fucking, it's the absolute cutest picture that I will never ever share with the internet. But Anna, maybe you'll get to see it one day. I have no qualm sending it over after the stream. So
it needs to change your name to that Henry Cavill girl. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Emperor J Bama fan, thank you for the super chat. That booty will unite Peaches and Cecil. No! Peaceful is not happening. Stop trying to make it happen. It's not happening.
Peaceful is totally happening.
Diano, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Anna. Sent you a David Bowie book. Oh, well, thank you. That's probably what that book, this heavy book is right here. I went to my P.O. box and I got it. So thank you. I like to let my packages pile up before I open them on air. But thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. And thank you. I will, when I do my next P.O. box opening, that will be one of them. No bikini shot, no. And I am done with my super chats. And let me refresh it, because we've already gone an hour past what me and Jessi usually do, which we are all done. So, Jessi, any closing thoughts you would like to say?
No, make sure you're checking out Mindless Entertainment. Well, I said no and then immediately started saying things like a hypocrite. Make sure you check out Mindless Entertainment tomorrow. I should have my Richard Chew Part 1 video up then, as well as follow me over on Livid. That's capital Livit. Download the app. Follow God Empress. It's posted all over my social media, so you can find it in those places too. And aside from that, no, that's about it. Just check out those Richard Chew videos. They're gonna be freaking phenomenal. And those will be behind the scenes stuff from that. There'll be extra material from that will only be available on Patreon. So hail the mindless mob, and that's all from me.
I am so excited. Everyone, for me, which all of it, the link for Jessi's channel and her Twitter in the description of this video, by the way, if you are not subscribed, go over and subscribe to my wonderful co-host. We will be on her channel next week. Next week on Mindless Entertainment, me and Jessi. Be there, be square. So, let's take a look at my screen for a minute. So this is the other video over on the Oscars page, which everyone moved over to comment. So it is now, let's see if they turned off okay, so likes to dislike are over 1,000, 1.1 to 80. And then, I like our robot heads right there. And then we have 815 comments, because over on the other video on the Oscars site is they turned off the likes to dislike ratio, and they turned off the comments of Kathleen Kennedy talking. But if you go over to my That Star Wars Girl Live, which is where I re-upload mine and Jessi's Matriarchy episodes, as you can see right there. Look, there's me. And then there's Jessi. So here is the video where I recorded the screen of me going in and getting all of the comments that are now deleted. Go over there if you guys want to see it. Here is the link to it. And if you want to use this in your video or to reference it, feel free. I just ask, like it says right here, if used, please credit Anna, That Star Wars Girl, because I sat there for 40 fucking minutes and screen recorded. So just credit me for it, please and thank you. And everyone, if you haven't already, I also have an art channel. And I'm going to be uploading me painting my Gina Carano, and the prints are available on my Etsy. They sold out twice, Jessi.
Ooh, nice.
Sold out twice.
That's phenomenal. I
have more. I'm just waiting on mailers to come in so I can mail these out. And I still haven't found my stamps. But since I ordered, they sold out twice. More are coming in because I ordered more from the printer. So everyone go check out my Etsy. And until next time, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Jessi, thank you so much for being here and being an awesome co-host.
Oh, my pleasure, as always.
And until next time, everyone, I hope you have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And may the force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone.
I'll tell you where I thought I came in the forest, when the lightsaber goes like this and flies off. I said, oh, what a great entrance. Ah! Ray caught it? She hasn't even been to Dagobah for training.